Okie dokie nerds, welcome back to my YouTube channel, I guess. So, Dredge Vintage Showcase Challenge thing. And this week we've come off of the poxwalkers, unfortunately. I still like the bridges and I still like the therapies. I've enjoyed that package, and I think I can get away with just using Narcs and Icarids. That means I can reintroduce the creeping chills, and the reason I've done this is it means that I'll have better game against the tabernacles and better game against the containment priest decks. One of the things I think my last version, which I got second place with in the challenge last weekend, I think it's good and I think it's playable, but I think the issue with it was that we were slightly overexposed to something like tabernacle plus containment priest, right? That was a very difficult board state for us to win from. I mean, we had to find one of our sickening shoals. So, Jacob, 416 rounding table, he top 8'd that same challenge with a list that looks a bit more similar to this. I think he had one more Noxious in the main and -1 bridge, something like that. But I've enjoyed the bridges. I think they're good. I think they're good to stall through games with Bug as well, maybe get a bit wider than them. I'm not sure, but I've enjoyed the bridges. So unfortunately, we're off Poxwalkers this week, going for something a little bit more normal, but maintaining that additional disruption package that I've come to enjoy with bridge and therapy. So I'll see you for round 1, which is about a quarter of an hour. Okay, now it's round 1, and we're up against T.A. Jordan. So that's fun. I don't know what they're on at the moment because they've not played Vintage for a while. So we're just going to mulligan to Bazaar. We found one, we've got a Force of Will, we've got a Hollow one. So let's keep this. This looks great. So let's lead on Bazaar, pitchy stuff, a Hollow one, maybe 2, hopefully 3. Ooh, that's interesting. So let's say goodbye to our Icarid, I guess, and just send as much power as possible. I think Icarid pitch, get a 2-2. I don't know what Jordan's going to play though, because they've not played Vintage for a while. Pitching Icarid or pitching Bridge. I mean, if the Bridge token attacks twice, it'll do more than the Icarid. That's not true. That's not how maths works. Icarid. I don't know what to pitch. Maybe I'm supposed to pitch the Bridge, but I get a Bridge token off the Grief. Now I'm going to pitch the Bridge from below to the graveyard and discard, exile the Icarid to the Grief. What way do I want to sequence this? Hollow one? Hollow one can get forced, that's fine. Maybe I fight back actually, because I've not got a Dredger, so I do need some clock. Let's get our graveyard out. And there's nothing relevant there at the moment. I'm not sure about this opening play. That's really confused me to start with. It means I'll attack for 6 next turn instead of 7. But then if I miss on Dredgers next turn, then the next attack will be more when the Icarid can't come back, right? That was my thinking. And it means that the death of my creatures in the future will make tokens and just generally be annoying. So that gets through. Let's cast a Grief, pitching an Icarid, and then we shall see if this gets through. And I'll probably force the Grief through if they've got a force. Nope, maybe it's, well, we'll find out what they're on now. I'm going to guess mono white initiative. Oh fuck. Alright, what the hell is that? A Canoptech Scarab Swarm. When it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Absolutely not. No. That's a firm no. For each artifact or land card exiled this way, create a 1-1. Right. So probably that. Yeah, I'll take that because we're not going to be able to resolve a... Well, I've got a Force Sphere, right? So let's take this thing that says exile target player's graveyard. Let's get ourselves a 2-2 and let's pass the turn to Jordan there. So their hand is Mana Crypt, Sphere of Resistance, Foundry Inspector, lands. I might force this Mana Crypt actually, 'cause I assume they're going to go Ghost Quarter, or Bazaar. That's going to be bad for us. So if I force their Mana Crypt, then they're a turn behind. So Ghost Quarter, or Bazaar. I'll give it a shuffle. No reason not to. That's my deck. Oh, and they've just passed. They've not played out the Mana Crypt, so that's cool. So let's get in for our 6 points of damage. Bink, bink. The fuck is that? That's mad. I think Shivek played that at one of the London events in their shops deck as well. So Mishra's Workshop into Foundry Inspector. I'm gonna counter the Foundry Inspector. That's the only card in their hand that we know of that does anything, right? So we'll get rid of that. They've made their land drop. They can play Mana Crypt Sphere. I don't know how good that is. No, they don't either. Prized Amalgam to hand, so let's attack for 6. Opponent goes to 8. Mana Crypt and Ancient Tomb looking dodgy here. What have they found for 3 mana? Patchwork Automaton into Mana Crypt Sphere to make a 3/3 that can just eat my zombie token. And then the following turn, it'll be bigger than a hollow one, which will be awkward. So I think Edge Jordan here in this spot. It's just how do you sequence, I guess, is what they're thinking through. Mana Crypt's a bit of a gamble, right? Because you've got 8 points of life and you're going to take 2 to 4 more next turn. So it's can you turn that corner and close that door fast enough? And this is one of the things with Dredge. As I don't know if you watched my video last week, then yeah, there's a lot of sitting and dying, and you win quite quickly. So yeah, because it's one of those annoying decks where like sometimes you are just completely locked out, but then other times it can just be like a slow grind where you're like, if I top deck a Bazaar bad, then I'll win the game. But for now, Jordan thinks. So we've got Ancient Tomb, takes 2, and Nettlesys. That was their other draw. Good grief. So Nettlesys is going to make a 2/2, and then it's going to be a 4/4. Oh no, they didn't play Sphere Crypt. I guess they just can't, can they? Even though that would give them 2 4/4s. I'm just going to crunch in. My bridge will die, but I don't care at this point. So they're going to block with a token there. Ooh, are they going to double block? No. So the token, I think, eats my bridge. And then, yeah, it will eat my bridge. And then they can play Sphere of Resistance next turn. And this will be a very, very long way home for us. They're at 2. Bridge gets exiled. Back to Jordan. So we know they're holding Sphere, which will make this a 3/3. Their Ancient Tomb is dead. Their Mana Crypt probably is never coming into play unless it's the very last turn of the game. They currently don't have anything that's interacting with our graveyard, so Bazaar's obviously a great draw. And I have got a Dredger if I can get up to 7, but I can't imagine the game's going to last that long. So 4 cards in hand, we only know 2 of them. And they've tapped their shop. And a Revoker goes on the stack. Trigger happens on the Patchwork. So now attacking looks really bad, right? Because I just traded with both of these. Name's Street Wraith, that's quite a good name. Oh, Inbound. They want to end this game at some point. So I like the attack. Bazaar, please. Synchro Imp, right? Let's kill that. Next turn a Sphere's going to come in. Maybe I'm not supposed to attack then. I don't know. So they've drawn well. Their Ghost Quarter was great, and they've just been able to chain spells, right? So, and that's a spell, because that will make a Sphere of Resistance. And then if they can, Crucible of Worlds, make a Ghost Quarter, equip Patchwork. I can't attack. Okay. Oh no. So I can't attack anyway, can I? So, and their last card is Mana Crypt. So we're drawing to Bazaar. Let's pass the turn. I don't know if they play an island, but if they do, they can Ghost Quarter their Ancient Tomb to tutor that. So they've got one card in hand that we know about. What's that? An 11/11. And a Caracas. They can't attack. Okay. So they can't attack until they get a blocker, right? So, or this gets up to 16 power. They find another workshop, so they still can't attack. We find a Force of Will, which we can't cast because of Sphere of Resistance. No blockers. We get up to 7. Okay, and we'll discard our Stinkweed Imp for the turn. And now we get to start dredging again. They found something. A Foundry Inspector. Foundry Inspector sends this to a 13/13. So I want to block. I don't think so. I think I just go to... If I block, then I get a draw step now, and then I die the following turn to the board. If I don't block, I hit a Narcomoeba. I can chump block next turn and attack this turn. So I think I'll take 13. And I'm also drawing to... Well, there's 2 Narcomoebas gone. There's 2 Crippling Chills gone. So I'm really low outs to hit anything. But I kind of have to dredge the Stinkweed Imp, right? There's no other choice. I think I just take 13. And then I've got 4 hits off of this Dredge 5. So I go to 3. And they've got another spell. Oh, they just equip the Foundry Inspector. Sure. Dredge 5. Creeping Chill. Nice. Stolen. Absolute theft. Nice. Okay, so going to sideboarding. We want all of our green cards. That's the Revivals and the Noxious. We're very interested in the Strips and Waste as well. I like Misstep post-board, especially on the draw, because they're going to be more focused on Needles and Soul Guides and stuff. I think on the draw we can drop our Grief, we can drop our Chalice, and then we can do some trimming. Like maybe our Bridge can go, or one Bridge can go, one Thug can go. And then maybe just one Therapy, something like this. So we've got like all of our blue stuff, all of our green interaction, and our black cards to kill. Or maybe the Therapies are really bad on the draw because it takes us a while to get them online. So maybe something like this. Maybe keeping the Chalice, or maybe keeping the Thug. Does that look better? Because then my bridges just work with Icarids and blocking. That seems really weak, doesn't it? Let's bring these 2 back in and drop these 2. I'm a bit concerned about that artifact creature that they had when we griefed them game 1. The Warhammer thing. So, on the draw, but obviously we won the die roll, which is great. So close to the nuts, but no Bazaar. And shops is usually a pretty poor matchup for the Bazaar decks, because your Bazaars are dead and then they can tutor for things with Godos and stuff like that. So that's Powder, and I think I'll just keep an Imp in my deck. And then we'll mulligan. We've got a Bazaar, so we'll keep this. And then we put back chill and powder, and then our hand's busted. Well, no dredger, but you know, this is about as good as you can get right on the draw against shops, I think. Bink your sphere, bink your saga and your mox, something like that. So Mishra's Workshop into Patchwork Automaton. I think I'm interested in countering that. Let's do that. Let's counter the Patchwork, because then that's going to slow them down, because we're usually slow dredging in this. That's a Soul Guide Lantern, which I can dink on later, so they're going to get my Force of Will. Okay, that's fine. And then they just pass the turn. And that's cool with us, because we can chill and take it slow. Another Bazaar. Wow. Do I even expose the first one then? I guess I have to. Because then I have 2 Bazaars next turn. Oh, this is really tough. Play Bazaar, get wasted. Don't want to activate Bazaar, right? But if I don't play Bazaar, then I've got to really be careful with my hand size. So play Bazaar, activate Vigor. Vigor the Soul Guide. Untap, draw, play Bazaar, activate Bazaar. That's if I don't get wastelanded. But what's the likelihood that they kept this hand, this 7-card hand with only a Soul Guide Lantern? I don't know. I think I've got to play the Bazaar so that it's in play. And I think I've got to pitch cast this Vigor, and if they wasteland me, we just cope, I guess is the play. I'm not sure though. I'm not confident about it. But I assume they've got more than one piece of interaction here. That's a Sphere of Resistance, which is going to make me Vigor, right? Yeah. Cool. Say goodbye to your Lantern. And then maybe get wasted. If I get wasted, it's like annoying, but having the second Bazaar means that I can get back into the game. So they need another land. It is a wasteland. They wasteland me and I don't activate. No, they play a Sapphire. Okay. Back to us then. We hit a Creeping Chill. We play our next Bazaar. And then we'll pass the turn. And this will be end step, activate, untap, upkeep, activate. And this is purely hoping that they don't have Crucible or another Strip Mine in hand. I could have just, yeah, another waste. I could have just ignored everything. Oh. Are they trying to build up to Golos? Or are they just holding the thing from before? Why wouldn't you wasteland me? Or are you just waiting for me to activate it? Do you have instant speed stuff that I can't think of? No dredgers there. You've got a wasteland now, right? I haven't hit a dredger. Yeah. Third Bazaar. No, there's my dredger though. So now we'll just watch them goldfish us for a minute or two. See if they show us any more pieces of hate. So it's 5 mana. They play this thing and I think they get a 1/1, right? They get 2 1/1s. Let me read this again then. Enter the battlefield for each artifact or land. Okay, so they got 1 for my Bazaar and 1 for my Narc. And 3 power to go with it. That's cool. Now a Nettle Cyst and we die quickly. So, yep. We got shopped. And we'll go to the next one. So, I could have activated the Bazaar and discarded, got Soul Guided. I don't think so. I don't think that sounds good. I think clearing the hate with our cards in hand and just eating their wasteland, because then if they've only had, like, what do they have? They had 4 bits of interaction there, right? Waste, Warhammer card, Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah. I think that's think that's a fine. I think 4 pieces of hate is a fine thing to be losing to. I think I'm just going to cut these bridges and these therapies, and then just call it a day like that. Just to bring the griefs back in. Maybe we can cut a chill and grab a chalice. That might slow them down. Yeah, I think I like that. But yeah, I think 4 pieces of hate is something that we can happily lose to. Well, maybe not happily lose to, but it's something that we can lose to. And I think I like the way we played it, even though we lost. So that's a nice hand. So let's keep this. I've dropped my bridges, so I can just activate first. I'm going to hold the Shambling Shell. I'm probably going to discard the Stinkweed Imp +2. And then see what they've got. That 1/1 that makes all the creatures seems really rough for Bazaar. Although we're already behind in the shop matchups before they started printing this stuff. So okay, so we've got our turn 1. They've not had a ley line, which sometimes they play and sometimes they don't. I don't know what list young Jordan's on here. So does that change anything? That next grief? I don't think so. I think we still discard Amalgam Imp. No. Shell. Difficult. So, alright, Powder's definitely getting discarded. Can I maintain double grief across this game? So if I discard Stinkweed Imp, Powder, then I'd be discarding Hollow One, right, to maintain Force of Vigor. Or what if I just discard the Shell this turn, discard the Imp, discard the Powder? That would leave me with Vigor, Grief, Hollow One, Amalgam, right? If I discard 2 Dredges and a Powder, I pitch an Amalgam and cast Grief. I feel like that's too bad though, because then I'd have no interaction for their turn. But I would have griefed them once. Alternatively, I can just discard the Vigor, grief them twice. Or I can discard the Hollow One. I think I'm going to discard Powder and Imp. Those 2 I think I'm convinced about. And then it's one of these other cards, and I think there's arguments for all of them apart from Amalgam. Do I discard a grief? If I discard the grief, then it's just one less piece of interaction, but if I get sphered next turn, then my grief is dead. So maybe that's the joke. Yeah, let's just discard a grief and hope our 2 pieces of interaction are going to be enough. We'll grief pitching Amalgam. I could have discarded a Shell, but I want the interaction on their turn in case they're like land, like Saga, Mox, Sphere, right? That would be annoying. So what have we got? Soulguide Lantern, Mana Crypt, Foundry Inspector, Wasteland. So we'll just take Soulguide Lantern and an Assist. So yeah, we'll just take Soulguide Lantern. So we've got our Dredger. We're going to get Wastelanded. I will cast this Hollow One post-combat, don't worry. Whoops. This is my graveyard. Popped out for you. And then what? So what, Mana Crypt. They can't play Crypt. They can't ever let me untap with Bazaar of Baghdad, I don't think. So a Lotus off the top. That seems kind of fucked up, really, doesn't it? They play a Foundry Inspector. They play a Mana Crypt. And they play a Nettle Cyst. And then they Wasteland me. So their hand is Workshop. Okay. So we'll go to our end step, or their end step. And now what do we hit? We can hit the 2 creatures. We could hit the Mana Crypt. That would keep them off of Golos. I think I'm just going to hit the 2 creatures. Just clear the path and deal the damage. And then we'll just dredge 5 for the turn. Any Icarid here is like basically game. No, we hit 2 imps though. So that's nice. In for 4. They're holding a workshop exactly. And they're flipping crypts as well. So didn't lose, which seems like cheating if you ask me. They drew a spell, a Pithing Needle. Actually couldn't care less at this point. I'm never seeing another land, I don't think. So onto our draw set, we'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. We hit an Archamoeba and an Amalgam, and we'll hit for 4. No more dredgers, so we've just got 1 Stinkweed Imp left. We get an Amalgam though, so they're taking 8 next turn. Workshop in hand that they didn't play last turn, which is something. So 2 mana makes a Cage. That's it. We're now just dredging for chills, which I'll do. I'm not above that. Hit 2 of them and kill them. Well, that's 2 games we kind of just absolutely fucking stole in this one. So yeah, see you for round 2. But I think those 2 games kind of just show us why Jacob's list last week and why I've gone back onto these over the Poxwalkers is just, if I was on my last week's list, right, then this is everything I've got. I attack them for, what is this, 8, and they'd go down to 4, and then they'd have another turn to find a Golos, find a Tabernacle, something like that. And it'd be a really precarious position. Here though, we've just got these lightning helixes sat around in our deck, and yeah, but in the 2 games we won on the plate that round, we hit them both at the perfect time really. So I'll see you for round 2. Okay, so welcome to round 2, and this round we're up against Xeno1, last seen yesterday playing Countervine, and then before that they had a bunch of dual listings. So we're going to powder our hand because there's no Bazaar here, and now we're going to mulligan to 6, and then to 5. Pay close attention to their exile pile for a moment, see if they've... No, just... What do they do? Show a game log. They've mulliganed to 5, so we're going to mulligan to 5 as well. We're going to join them. We've got 2 Bazaars, a Hollow One and a Grief. We're on the draw though. So either they're on a questionable dual draw or mono white or Bazaar. Let's see where they stop. They know what we're on. What did we lose? A little bit of everything, so that's fine. So opponent keeps on 5. We'll be keeping on 5 as well. We'll be putting Creeping Chill and 1 other card. Imagine it's just supposed to be Grief actually. Yeah, so I'm going to go Creeping Chill Grief. Just because we're going to be low on cards, right? That we probably can't keep up. They've got a Bazaar of Baghdad. We probably can't Grief. So let's see what they discard. Let's hope it's not Dredge. Let's hope it's Countervine. Because I think in this spot with 2 Bazaars we're going to be favoured. So they've just got 2 Lizards and a Master of Death. 3 cards in hand at the end of their turn. Possibilities of Hollow Ones. No Hollow Ones. Nice. So let's play Bazaar. Activate it. And we'll just discard our 3 Dredges. Diversifying Dredges there is really nice because it means that they need 2 Noxious to knock us out. We've got a Hollow One. They don't have a Vigor just yet. So they could have Wasteland, but we've got 3 Bazaars. So that's nice. But it is really post-board where this matchup gets difficult for Dredge. I think the Squee deck is kind of favoured. Or at least I always liked my Dredge matchup, is what I mean by that. But yeah, so we know they've got a Master. They're back up to 7 with this activation, although they'll be down to 4 momentarily. And they discard Vengevine, Master of Death, Noxious Revival. They waste my Bazaar of Baghdad. And pass the turn. Draw step, I'll dredge an Imp. Stinkweed Imp goes down. Creeping Chill and Narc come in, bink you, say yes, play a Bazaar, flip it over, so Stinkweed Imp into Golgari Thug, pitch everything. I wonder how much I want to shred their hand. I don't have any bridges, so maybe I want to do that later. Let's just attack for 4. So what could they be holding here? 1 Lizard. They could be holding Force of Wills. They could be holding Force of Vigors, which I think we'd find out about soon. I don't think there's much I want to be therapying here, so I don't think I want to therapy for no value. I think I'll wait till I've got some dredges on the go. And they did chump block us, which is nice. Master of Death's going to go back to their hand. I've got 2 Icarids coming in next turn. They've got another Bazaar activation. And our sideboard's probably just like what wastes, vigors, yeah, just all the normal shit I think. So they hit there. They hit a Lizard. They hit a hollow one which triggers their Vengevine. And they've got 3 cards left. So Vengevine's going to come in and... oh, so there's a little Lizard. Do I want to chump block? Probably not. I probably want to save this for some therapies. Yeah, I'll save this for therapies. So I'll just take my 5, it's fine. I've got Chills in my deck, which makes racing advantageous to us. They've got another Wasteland, and I've got another Bazaar. So we'll exile some shells, they're not doing anything for us here. Shambling Shell, Shambling Shell. Try to Stinkweed Imp. We will... we will attack with the squad, I think. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll go and find our bridges after combat. So that when they chump block with their Narcomoeba, my bridges don't go away. Yeah, I've got 3 and 26, so we're going to find them. They take 4. Let's play our Bazaar. Let's activate it. Let's dredge Stinkweed Imp. Hit some stuff. Golgari Thug. 0 bridges. Brutal. All the dredges can go. 2 narcs will come in. A billion amalgams will come in. Opponents at 11. Hard for us to lose from this spot. So we'll have 3 amalgams. Still didn't hit a bridge from below, which is kind of messed up actually. What would I want to name in this spot? I'm going to therapy them. I'm just going to name Fury. I'm not sure what there is. If there's something that we're scared of, then we'll go and get that again. They've got a Mindbreak Trap and another Bazaar. Sure. Yeah, whatever. That doesn't matter. They've got 2 Masters, I've got 3 Amalgams. So 3 Amalgams, 3 Bazaars, 2 Icarids. Yeah, shame about not hitting a bridge there, because that would have just really cemented this game. Although I already think we are pretty much a lock to win next turn. And then we'll have Leylines and Vigors post board alongside some Noxious. And they've conceded, so that's cool. Let's go to sideboarding. So 4 Leylines are great. All of this is great. Chalice is bad. Negation's bad. I'm not particularly into Force of Will. I'm not particularly into Grief. I'm not particularly interested in my therapies. I don't think I'm interested in the bridges. I think everything else looks good. But then if I don't have the bridges, I'm probably running low on gasoline. I just don't think I care what's in their hand. So that takes me to 58. So what if I trim 1 bridge again and bring 3 forces in. That would give me... Yeah, I think I can support Force of Will. It's just, do I want to cut something else? A Thug maybe? I don't think a Thug. I think we're already aggro on Dredges. I think this is fine. Maybe just want like 1 bridge. 1 bridge doesn't really serve a purpose, does it? Ooh. So yeah, maybe we go down a Thug, bring in a 2nd bridge and jam like this. Because then I've got forces to protect my ley lines and I've got forces to push through my vigors. That's the idea. But I never like it, to be honest. Yeah, I really don't like the look of this. I think the chills keep me in the game quite nicely. Misstep's just the best card in each player's deck. 1 bridge just doesn't really make sense though, does it? Bridges, no therapies. Maybe I just want to be on... Bring back Thug, bring back a Grief, like a rando Grief or something. Or just like a Sickening Shoal. I don't know. We can consider for game 3. But for now, we've got a Bazaar. And a bridge, some Icarids and Arc. So we'll be keeping this, which means they'll be uncontested. They've got a ley line. Okay. They've kept 7 as well. They've got ley line and Bazaar. So let's pass to them. Where's that graveyard? That's there. Where's my graveyard? That's irrelevant. I don't have one and I won't get one. So maybe it's actually better to have Griefs over Forces, because then I can force through my thing and still have black cards. So Vigor, Master, Powder. So a slow start from them, which can be good for us. And that's a Noxious Revival. So I'm going to activate and pray for like my Force, I guess, is what I'm looking for here. That's a hollow one. So let's discard Narcomoeba, Bridge from below, and Prized Amalgam. And now cast a hollow one. They did discard a Vigor, so this could be a threat. And upkeep with the Master of Death trigger on the stack. I'm going to Vigor them. And then we'll be struggling against something like Force of Will Wasteland. That would be a difficult thing for us to come back from. But that's just got through, so that's nice. However, we've only got 3 cards, and we probably don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad. So I think just favours them from the forcing the interaction, or like having the interactive piece against the graveyard. And being on the play was quite good. So they discard a Lizard. They play a Wasteland and Wasteland me. So I don't have 3 Bazaars this time. Which is a shame. They're going to Surgical me? No. Let's attack. And this game's just going to be a race between my hollow one and their ability to find their threats. Or just another Vigor, right? So hopefully they just miss and just hit like all the powders and nowhere to go. But I think we're clearly behind at this point. They might have Surgicals in their list. I didn't look at their list from yesterday, I just looked at what they played. Okay, opponent has discards a Bazaar, plays a Lizard off of that. So no, they've got 4 Ravenous Trap, good god. 4 Trap, 4 Leyline of the Void is what they had post-board yesterday. Wow, that's fucked up. And 4 Furies across the 75. So they discard Trap Powder. Wow. I am dead. That's fine actually. Like their clock's slow. Oh no, their clock's really fast. Cool. I take 1. We go to 19. We draw a thug. Pass to them. And this is going to be just a crushing defeat in this game. But we'll let them show us the cards that they're playing. Third Bazaar. Just a double flip. Hits another lizard and another master. In for 6, we go to 13. And a Force of Will. This is the problem with Force of Will, right? I don't know, it's just crap. It's crap in all spots. Although it would have been good earlier, and it will actually be something we want to bring in or keep in, I think, just because of Ravenous Trap. So, opponents flipping some Bazaars. They've bought their deeps in as well, which is cool. And they got up to 3 cards and then up to 5 cards. So it looks like they've come off of their forces. They get in for 7, so we're dead next turn. So we need a Bazaar right now. And they've got another hollow one. And a strip mine. Cool. And we've just got a Force of Will. Cool, okay. So let's go to game 3. So I'm not sure how I feel about how I'm set up, but I feel like against Ravenous Trap these Force of Wills are good. The negation's obviously bad. It's just on the play, do I want like to drop my bridges and bring in a couple of griefs, or a grief and a thug or something? Oh, that was a therapy. So I'll have 3 thugs and 1 grief. 1 grief is really weird. Got 2 griefs and 3 chills. I think that sounds like a playable amount. And we need to hope they don't have Leyline, but I think we need Force of Will for their traps, because they've got 8 pieces of Dredge Hate, which is a wild amount. So we've got Wasteland. Oh, I'll keep this 7. I think we're hoping for them to just mulligan to nothing. That would be really delightful for us here. So they exile with Powder. And that didn't get rid of anything relevant. So, yeah, we'll be Bazaar going, or, well, depending on whether they've got a Leyline or not. If they've got a Leyline, we'll be Bazaar go. And then we can Wasteland them on turn 2. And we've got a bunch of Dredgers as well. So this could be nice, could be bad. Okay, opponent kept... It says here that it begins mulligans to 6, begins the game with 7 cards in hand. But they didn't, they began the game with 6 cards in hand. And a Leyline was one of them. So, let's say, okay, let's play our Bazaar. And then we'll pass the turn and we'll go for an upkeep Vigor. And then we can flip our Dredgers once we've got a graveyard, basically. So let's Vigor you in your upkeep. Pray for no protection. Oh shit, they've got Force. Force pitching Force. Do I flip now? In response to that. Well, I need to hit exactly blue card Force of Will. I mean, I've got the outs for it, right? So, let's try it. Nope, okay. So we'll keep the Shambling Shell because that's another green card. And I've not got any plays. They've got a Wasteland for my Bazaar. That's fine. I've got a Powder, and then I'll pass. So yeah, 2 games where we didn't have the hate and they did have protection for their hate. So, oh, but they kept without a Bazaar, they just kept Force Vigor. Okay. Cool. So now we're racing to Bazaars. They kept Force, Leyline Force, not Force Vigor. They might have a Vigor as well, who knows. So Leyline of the Void for us. Okay. So this is actually a game, whilst it doesn't really look like one. Another Leyline. And we will sandbag this wasteland until they hit a Bazaar of Baghdad. They're going to be up to a higher number of cards next turn. So they'll be at 8 cards next turn. We're at 8 cards this turn. I'm going to discard this powder and not develop the wasteland because I want to wasteland their Bazaar of Baghdad when they find it. I don't want my wasteland to get wastelanded, basically. They discard a lizard, so they've got, I guess, pressure. I've got a Force of Will, so I can discard a Leyline of the Void here. I'll be looking for another Vigor, is what we're basically looking for. Vigor and a Bazaar. But at this point, a Bazaar's not like game-endingly strong, you know, so they're just discarding lizards forever. Okay. I've found a Bazaar. Interesting. I mean, I still play it, right? I still play it and activate it. If I hit a hollow one, that's great. If I hit a Vigor, that's great. So let's get rid of Leyline, one of my shells, and one of my Stinkweed Imps. So they can go. I'm expecting to get wastelanded, which isn't ideal, but we should be able to push this Force of Vigor, or this Leyline of the Void out of here. So that goes. So we've now got a graveyard. They're probably going to have a wasteland post-combat, I expect. No. No wasteland. Discards a squee. Okay. Okay, buddy. Let's activate this. Let's discard Amalgam, Icarid, Stinkweed Imp. Amalgam, Icarid, Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, I like that. And we'll pass the turn. Again, still not deploying our wasteland, but we'll be holding this wasteland for the rest of time. They didn't have a Force of Will recently, and we did. This is my graveyard. And we can Force of Will a trap. There we go. We're pretty sure they don't have Force of Will. They might have another trap, which would be cool for them. And I am going to dredge on this upkeep. I don't think I've got much choice. I think I have to do something, even if it runs into another trap. Let's discard everything. Let's make a Narcomoeba if they let us. So this is when they get priority, and they don't have the stuff. They haven't got the goods. We have. They might have a Fury later, but that's fine. Let's eat the grief that we bought in. And I'm going to continue just punting into this idea of a potential Ravenous Trap. Although actually I might not need to do too much more punting into a Ravenous Trap once I've got these 2 Amalgams in play. Yeah, pass to you. Stack it so that the Amalgams come back first. Why do I need to stack my Amalgam trigger uniquely? How are they different? So the Amalgams are in. I've got 3 Icarids here. And 3 pieces of food. So I might actually bring the Icarids back, eating everything. Oh, they've just conceded. So what I was going to do was I was going to bring the Icarids back, eating everything. That would be eat my Imp, eat my Grief, eat my Shell, and then I'd do my dredging for the turn. Or my Bazaar activation, I think. Just really force through or play around the trap on these turns where we're starting to kill them. But never mind, we're 2-0. I'll see you for the next round. Okie dokie, round 3, and we're going to keep this pretty good hand on the draw against Spicy Leche, who hasn't got a vintage result this year, so we don't know what they're on, but we've got a Bazaar, so we'll keep it. So, opponent also appears to have kept 7. Oh no, that's a total lie, they've mulliganed to 5, so could be another Bazaar matchup, could be, as a mono white mulligans quite a lot, it could just be 2 shit hands in a row, but we'll see where they end up. Been a bit of a pause for a moment, so probably keeping the 5. Okay, opponent kept on 5. They revealed a chance of the annex. They play a Mox Emerald and an Ancient Tomb. Is this just an early initiative threat? It's a turn 1 Thalia. Okay. Well, that isn't scary. So let's activate the Bazaar. And then what have we got? Everything. So what? Two Dredges and an Icarid seems fine. And then we'll cast our 2 hollow ones. Oh, yeah, no, I forgot about that. Never mind. Let's cast a hollow one. Back to them. So their turn 2, obviously they've got some potential top decks here. Like gaining the initiative could be good. It's an Archon of Emeria, which doesn't do anything. So Icarid trigger on the stack. Let's dredge our Thug. Dredge another Thug. And then we'll discard the... Do you want to discard the bridge just now? Probably not. Probably next turn. So let's discard the 2 Thugs in the chill. My Icarid trigger is going to resolve, and I'll exile a Grief. And then we'll dredge another Thug. And then we will slam. Because next turn I've got a billion Icarids coming into play. So, provided they don't have anything insane off the top here that I can't think of, like just a random priest hanging out in their main deck. It's just a Sapphire. And then the Archon's going to get in, so I think that's going to be game 3 Icarids trigger. Golgari Grave Troll. Stinkweed Imp. Ding ding ding. Oh, I didn't discard my bridge. Never mind. I don't think that's going to be too much of a drama for us. Grief can go. Shell can go. Oh, there's another Grief. That can go. And now we'll dredge our Grave Troll. And the opponent will die. Very nice. So fortunate that they kept a really anemic turn hand on a mulligan to 5, but now they get their sideboard cards, which typically are Containment Priest and Tabernacle. Sometimes we see a ley line. So yeah, let's get down to sideboarding. Or is there something that I'm not seeing? Okay, my bridge gets exiled and then you die. Fine. Oh no, my bridge makes a zombie. Right. Sideboarding for mono white. We've got to bring in the Vigors. We kind of need the Wastes and we kind of need the Sickening Shoals. So, Misstep can go. Negation can go. I think we can trim on the Therapy joke. I like the bridges though because they're going to go quite wide. Chalice on the draw is questionable. 1 Thug. Maybe we can just cut all the therapies. So that's 63 at that point. And then, yeah, maybe it's just the bridges still. I like the idea of bridges though. 12 blue cards with Force, but on the draw I think I need it. I'm kind of interested in... Am I interested in running Griefs post-boarding against mono white? So what if I bring a Thug back in and just drop all 4 Griefs on the draw? There's then at that point an argument about these two negations, for which I could drop one thug and one bridge. Yeah, maybe that's good. Just as always, Bazaar sideboarding is mono vibes, so down to game 2. Yeah, this hand looks like we've got too many of our payoffs in our hand, but it's fine. We'll keep this. They don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad, but that doesn't mean they don't have some form of hate early doors. Or they don't have a ley line, sorry. So Chrome Mox pitching Plough. And then a big pause. A Lotus, wow. Must be nice. I never draw a Lotus. I'm really unlucky. So they've got 4 cards in hand now. They're just working out which one to sequence first, by the looks of things. So that's 4 mana and that's a Seasoned Dungeoneer. That's going to get them a Plains. And then I wouldn't mind seeing a Force of Will. Oh, wow. They're still going. So then Chrome Mox exiles a Myriad's Call, Hardcast Containment Priest right there. So that's all of their cards. So let's activate our Bazaar. And what do I want to do with these cards? I want to keep the chill. So Stinkweed Imp, Bridge from Below. That was a hell of an opener. Stinkweed Imp, Bridge from Below. I guess just the troll. But we are digging for... Oh, I shouldn't have discarded the bridge, that was really bad. I need to keep the chill because of the +2/+2 that they get this turn onto the Containment Priest. I should have just discarded the other Stinkweed Imp, I don't know why I didn't. They draw a Wasteland off the top. Well, that's got to be nice, isn't it? So we take 8 here, maybe 9. They reveal a Solitude. Cool. And they pitch it. Cool. So I will press cancel on this because I need to draw one of my Sickening Shoals, and I don't. Cool. Let's go to the next game because they've got the trap coming and we're dead. So they win game 1, or game 2, sorry. And then I think I'm interested in reincorporating these Griefs. And I guess where we're bringing in Shoals to kill stuff, we can actually drop this. So I need 2 cuts, which will be these 2 negations. Yeah. I've never really studied the different ways to sideboard with Dredge, so it is just what I think of at the time. And you might find in a few rounds' time I'm playing against mono white and sideboarding differently. That's the way it goes sometimes. Actually, I probably wanted this Chalice on the play. Maybe we'll just pitch a Grief quickly. Maybe that's really bad and it's supposed to be something else, but never mind. Okay, so game 3 against mono white, and we're going to keep our Bazaar hand. Their game 2 hand was, I think, about as good as you can get from mono white. It's interesting to see they've got Ploughs in their deck as well. So Chancellor of the Annex is annoying because that's going to counter my Hollow one. So activate the Bazaar, Creeping Chill, Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, I'm still going to throw this Hollow one at them to absorb this Chancellor trigger, because now my future Griefs or what have you might work. There's just no real reason not to. So they've got a Chrome Mox, exiling a Chancellor, playing a Cavern, naming Human, and probably just holding up or playing a Containment Priest. They're just going to sorcery speed it like they did last time. Or they're going to let my Icarid trigger go on the stack. They're just going to play it now. Okay. Cool. That's good because that gives us knowledge. Okay. And I'm going to say no to my Ichorid trigger because it doesn't do anything. And I'm just going to take a regular draw step. And we're drawing towards hollow ones and chills at the moment. Or sickening shoals, not chills. I'm looking at the chill in my hand. So, opponent's got a big think on my upkeep, which is weird. Maybe they're just multi-queuing. So we'll say no on Ichorid. We'll take a draw step. A regular one. And we just draw the sickening shoal straight up. That's nice. So let's kill the guy. And then dredge 10. Hitting triple Narcomoeba, which I guess is a clock. No amalgams though, not much else. So we've got 3 1/1s in the sky. We've got an Ichorid next turn if they don't have another priest. And that wasn't a wasteland. So they've chosen cleric. And that's an anointed peacekeeper. So that's not going to do a lot. I mean, it's going to stop my bazaars, right? But it's not going to stop my Ichorid. It's not going to stop my dredgers. So Ichorid will happen. I'll exile a grief. And then I'll dredge a stinkweed imp. Hit a creeping chill and another Ichorid. Yes, please. And then we'll slay with everything. They take 6. So what's that? Oh, they've got Solitude, sure. Solitude, pitching, Peacekeeper. So we've been through 2 chills. It's going to depend on what they draw as to how well this game goes, but being at 26 is nice. They've got 2 cards in hand. They play the Mox Pearl. 3 mana makes a white plume, so they'll get their basic planes. I think we're pretty favoured in this spot here. I might just be wrong there, but you know what you're going to do. So Ichorid triggers. I'll eat a Shambling Shell. I'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. I'll hit nothing. And I'll attack with everyone. I'll get the initiative, which is going to be a pretty big game. They block. Okay, and that's going to start pumping my Narcomoebas in a minute, so they're drawing to Tabernacle pretty hard, I think. They'll get the Forge first. I'll get an Amalgam next turn. I've got 30 cards in the deck. So Stinkweed Imp is my biggest dredger. I'm running low on black creatures actually, and dredgers in general. But I've got to eat my Thug this turn just to get my Amalgam back into play. Is that true? Or I could just get my Amalgam back into play? No, I'll eat the Thug. I could just like eat the Amalgam is what I was thinking. So Stinkweed Imp. That found a grief. My Amalgam's coming back. I'm out of dredgers, but I think that should be pretty good. So we'll attack with everything. Oh, they went down the Lost Well. Interesting. Oh, that. So initiative trigger. I get the initiative back. I'm going to forge onto a Narc. They're at 8. I've been through 2 chills, so chill. Let's go to the game log quickly because they did something I wasn't expecting and didn't really pay attention to. The initiative. Scries 2 to the bottom and takes a blind draw. Okay. Doesn't play anything off that blind draw, so what they drew a Chancellor. Almost exactly. Or an End Step Solitude. What can I hit? That's realistic here. I guess I want to dredge anyway just to... I can't dredge. Oh, that's sick. That's such a good draw. Let's discard a Creeping Chill. Because then we can pop it on top with this Noxious if they don't draw a Containment Priest this turn. Well, if they draw a Containment Priest this turn, then yeah, I can just top the Creeping Chill and they'll die. So I forgot that was Dredges. But they've conceded the match, so we're 3-0. Sorry, that was a bit all over the place there. Kind of just didn't notice that they'd gone down the Lost Well. So yeah, then I was a bit all over the place as to how I'm converting that. But yeah, good match result. I'll see you for round 4. Okay, so round 4 of 8, and we've won a die roll up against Gorezone. Yeah, I'd like to play first. So let's see what we get in our opener then. Okay, so opponent has revealed a cat, which is good for them. We've not revealed a Bazaar, so let's powder this away. And we've got a Bazaar, a Grief, a Force, a Hollow One, and some Dredges. So let's keep this. And it's going to be play Bazaar, and then probably Grief pitching the Thug. Let's go with that. So that just gets straight through, which is nice. Despite them having a cat. So what have we got? Strip Mine, Wasteland, Lotus, Lorien, Ponder, Bowmasters. So I could just take the Lotus, and I think I will. I think take Lotus, and then they are going to be really slow. So now we'll activate our Bazaar of Baghdad, and we'll hit a second Imp, which is going to be really nice because we're not going to have a Bazaar in a second. So there we go. That's my Hollow One. This is their hand plus Lurrus. So over to the opponent. They're kind of priced into wasting me, but that's going to really slow down their development. So that's a Wasteland. Yep. And it's back to me. I'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. That hit 2 bridges. We've got another Stinkweed Imp to go as well. So then this turn's going to be something like Island Ponder or Island Cycle Lorien. I don't know if I'm supposed to misstep their Ponder, or whether I'm supposed to wait and fight later. I guess I'll misstep it. So let's dredge our Stinkweed Imp. Hit nothing again, but I did hit 2 Icarids, so they'll go to 12 this turn and they'll need something. But we've not got any dredges now. Stinkweed Imp isn't going to do it. They're going to take 10 and I'm going to make 4 2/2s. Or Orcish Bowmaster isn't going to do it, I mean. So that's an Urza's Saga. And they've got a Dreadhorde Arcanist, fine. So Icarid's going to eat a Grief. Icarid's going to eat a Grief. I draw a Thug. Let's just slay. I assume they have to block. They didn't. They go to 2. I get tokens. I get tokens. You'll go. Saga goes up to 2. And then what does Grixis Lurrus Arcanist play? I really don't know. I didn't know that was a deck. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what to do with that information. And then they concede, so that's cool. I think we'll do this. We'll ignore the existence of Tabernacle for a moment. We'll definitely need the Sickening Shoals because I'm going to assume Jailers. So let's get rid of the Chalice. We know they've got Wastelands. We'll drop the Griefs as well. I assume it's just a Breach deck. And I'll trim a Thug, a Bridge, and a Therapy. And I'm going to roll with this for now. I assume it's just Breach, but Dreadhorde's kind of throwing me through a loop at the moment. And then if we decide we need tabernacles, not tabernacles, wastelands, we can do that as well somehow. But I feel like just being a bit more disruptive is going to be nice for us. Okie dokie, opponent reveals a cat once again, which is good. They keep 7, we keep 7. They play a volcanic island, pay 1, and they've got a Ragavan. I don't think I could ever give a single toss about Ragavan, actually. You've got it, my bro. So, obviously getting hit would be annoying. They'll get a treasure and stuff. But it just doesn't look like it really does much, right? So let's discard Icarid and our 2 dredges. Oh, Modo is not on form. Icarid and 2 dredges, and then I'll cast a Hollow One. And then that Ragavan can't hit me. So we've got Force Blue card for when they wasteland us, or for whatever their follow-up is, right? If they try and play some graveyard hit, I've got Force Blue card. I just don't know if my blue card is Force or if my blue card is a Amalgam. Ancestral. I guess I am supposed to fight that. I think I'm going to fight it by pitching the Amalgam. So that just kind of got through. They've got a Misty Rainforest, which isn't a wasteland. Do they play Trap in this list? Who knows? Let's just go until the game tells me I have to stop or something. Let's just discard a Chill. Okay, so Chill you. Yep. Icarid's going to go off, and Icarid can eat this Shambling Shell, I guess. There's nothing else here, is there? This Shambling Shell at the top looks tasty. That will trigger 2 Amalgams. And then we'll draw and get ourselves a Stinkweed back to hand. Yeah, I get a Narcomoeba as well, triggering 2 Amalgams. And then that's going to be that. Is Modo lagging or is opponent conceding? Who knows? Modo's just over it completely. So we'll need to restart it after this round. But in we go with the squad. That's for 7. And then we get 2 Amalgams back into play. How many chills have we been through so far? Not many, I don't think. 1. Oh, I've been through 2. Okay. Opponent taking game actions. They fetched for... This could just fetch for Underground Sea. And no play. So they didn't get to vamp for like a Lotus or Underworld Breach or something like that. So DT, I imagine, gets Tabernacle at Pendrel Vale. Yep, that's fine. Ragavan doesn't even attack, which is wild to me. So I want to stack Narcomoeba. How do I want to do this? Let's stack the Icarid next. So basically my Amalgams will die. That'll be 2 cards. I'll then get my Icarid back, eating an Amalgam. And now I'll dredge Stinkweed Imp and Golgari Thug. Oof. Golgari Thug, please. Yeah, okay, cool. Get rid of these 3. Yes to Narcomoeba. No to Narcomoeba. And I found some more Icarids as well. So that's all good. Draw step, let's try to Stinkweed Imp. Get a Narcomoeba. How many cards have I got? 22. Okay. So let's Therapy you. And name Underworld Breach, Force of Will. They've played Demonic. I could name like Nihil Spellbomb, but I feel like I would have seen that so far. Is that true? Would I have seen that last turn? A Spellbomb, a Priest, a Yixlid Jailer. Maybe they just needed to clear the board last turn. So let's go with Yixlid Jailer. I don't know if that's correct, but let's say it anyway. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. That's annoying. Because they're going to block now. Yeah, so they block. All my creatures are going to die. I've only got 2 chills left in my deck, right? 1 there. So Vigor, Vigor. No Vigors there. So they have to cage, yeah. And then they played a C. And they're not playing their Arcanist, which is a really strange way about it. No. Oh, because they can't cast spells, so sure. Does that mean I need to return to, like, the Wishing Well? Oh, good grief. This is not the dream when your Modo is lagging out, but do I need to... I think I do need to go to the draw step and see what it can deliver for us. Yeah, if I go draw step and then activate, looking for revivals and vigors, basically. So I've got a Shambling Shell lying around. Okay, so draw step. How many vigors have I got left? There's 1 and 2 and none in exile, right? Yeah, fine. So cancel that. That's a Creeping Chill, good grief. Activate this. You draw a Bowmaster? Okay. Well, you're going to get some cards. Noxious Revival. And then we'll dredge a shell, I guess. Yeah, let's dredge a Shambling Shell to hand. And then we'll discard Stinkweed Imp, Creeping Chill, Ponder. Oh, not Ponder, Serum Powder, good god. And then the Bowmaster's going to trigger again, that's fine. I take 1, I go to 20. And then I will top my Force of Vigor now whilst I can. We know that holding Treasure Cruise that they can't cast at the moment, and Dreadhorde Arcanist, which isn't going to do much. So they're going to pay something and something. Then I'm going to draw a Vigor next turn. And then the following turn, we can try and kill them with Icarids, something like that. Unless they drew like a Flusterstorm here. So, no attacks, which is cool for us, I guess. So my Icarids will trigger, but we're not going to do anything with them. No. 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 I draw my Vigor. And then, yeah, I've got to win with Icarids. So, upkeep, make them pay, and then Vigor to play around something. What, I don't know, but something. Oh, they've just let 1 go. Okay. Are you holding negation then? No. So now we'll Vigor and hope they didn't draw Force of Will or Flusterstorm last turn. They didn't. Okay, over to you. A Jailer would be a real pain in the arse here. Or more hate, but... Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. Sends to us. I've got 17 cards. I've got 1 chill, which I would like to find. So let's go 17. Let's just go shell, I think. Oh no, I found my creeping tool straight away. Let's still go shell. So that puts me to 11 cards. Yes, please, chill you. You're at 6, and I should be able to bring back 3 Icarids. 4 Icarids, okay. Accept. So, Icarid eat Amalgam. Icarid eat just anything, I just don't care. Thug. Imp. Thug. Okay. Cancel, I guess. And then we can move on to X and O, and I get to restart Magic Online between rounds. So, blocks and concedes. Nice. We win the match. I'll see you for round 5. We're currently 4-0 at this point. Somehow I always have the nut low breakers, but so it goes. See you for round 5. Okay, round 5, and we're on the draw against Montolio himself. A man of much range, could be shops, could be Bazaar, likes his Bayou variants, and Bug's been doing well recently. Most recent decklist publication was at the beginning of the month on Scam, like a Dalthy Voidwalker Grief Reanimate list. So let's see what he comes with. We're obviously just going to keep 7 cards because that's what we do. But yeah, no. Always awesome to play against Montolio, because they are one of the long time, stalwarts and titans of the format. So very exciting. Right, we will keep 7. Montolio's kept 7, and we're off to their turn 1. So let's see what they come with. I'm hoping it's not shops. They're paying costs, so it looks like a probe. Yeah, so that's going to resolve. I don't know what probe means out of their range. Any of the blue lists, because they can just be on anything. I think at this point, could be like a squee deck as well. Quite a few people like the probes in squee, but we've got a sapphire coming in. Okay, so. Okay, so Sapphire Wasteland Go is the play here. So I wonder what that means, other than they want to kill my Bazaar. So it means we need another Bazaar, which we've found. So let's just play it, activate it, and we find a hollow one as well. So let's go with Thug, Amalgam, Icarid. And then we'll cast our hollow one. I don't think I want to fight over hollow one. I think I'm happy to chill and let it go to the graveyard, and then that way I can fight over my Noxious Revival. Okay, and that's going to be the higher leverage card for us here. So it means when we get wasted, we won't be bringing back the Icarid. We'll be taking our draw step to pick up our Bazaar again, and then going nuts from there. That's going to be the general game plan here. And the hollow one is in. So I think they're on a bug list, is going to be my guess at this point, based on Probe Sapphire Wasteland. I know that's not much to work from, but it's, yeah, just trying to reduce what we know that Andy plays and what we've seen, sort of thing. Yeah, at the moment I'm leaning bug, but they might just go, Underground Sea Tinker or some shit. So Ancestral is the play. I think Ancestral is something I am willing to force. I presume it just means that they've got a force as well. Yep. So force pitching Days. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like we're against Wessel's kind of bug list. They're going to go up to 6 cards in hand here from this Ancestral. And then how do they go about it from here? So they've got a Delta. And more ponderance. So fetches. This could be a Bayou spot which would give up the game, or at least give up the joke sort of thing. Tell us what we're against. Yes, so it's just a bug list, which is going to be tough, but there's a Deathrite Shaman. And then that's going to be closed off by a Wasteland on my Bazaar of Baghdad. And we're going to go to their end step. And we're going to try and revival our Bazaar. See if they've got a second force, because that's the only thing they can have right now. Nope. So we get the Bazaar back. As long as we don't misclick on our Grave Troll. We'll leave the Icarid where it is. He can chill there for a moment. And we'll cancel on the Thug. And we'll play the Bazaar and flick it in. So Golgari Thug and a draw step. That's annoying. So we did miss. That means that the Deathrite Shaman's going to get to do something. We've only got... Oh yeah, the Deathrite Shaman's going to get my Golgari Thug. We'll get in for 4. Yeah, that's distressing. It's like Wasteland activation of Deathrite really just puts us in a hole. Not the biggest hole, but just like a hole of some variety. So 5 cards in hand for the bug player, and let's see how they sequence this. Yeah, kind of unfortunate to miss the Dredger. They can eat my Icarid to slow down the clock and stop the amalgams from coming in. They can also eat the Thug to stop me from dredging. I wonder if I get priority with the Icarid trigger on the stack, am I supposed to just eat the Thug to make them eat an amalgam? And then I get 2 flicks at a... I get 2 flicks at a Dredger? Probably not. Probably not. I actually almost came off of Bazaar this week because I was concerned about a high prevalence of this matchup. So... yeah. So opponent casts a Tarmogoyf, which is bigger than my Hollow one. And then do they have a follow-up land of some variety? They're going to eat a Delta to produce more manas. A black and another Deathrite Shaman. Okay. Doesn't look like a Wasteland to me just yet. But yeah, no, so no Wasteland. So my Icarid trigger is going to go on the stack. And I'm going to dredge a Thug. And miss again. Wow. So, what do I eat? I've just got another Icarid. And a bridge, so I could start going wide. Yeah, I'm going to eat an Icarid, actually. Bring it back, trigger my amalgams, get them out of the graveyard and into like the relative safety of the battlefield as I miss on dredgers all day. Thug comes back and I hit a chill and another dredger. So, yes please. Now how do I want to do this? I've got 1 bridge. I think I just attack. So I hit 1 shell, so I've still only got 1 dredger going on at the moment. Which I'm definitely not going to have on my next turn. We might see a chump block here on the Deathrite. Or maybe they're just going to take the 3. I'm going to get a bridge token from that. And now what can they have? Another Tarmogoyf, a Leovold, a Narset. Let's go with Leovold, I think. I don't know what I'm supposed to play around here. So, Therapy U. Leovold's just like a singleton though, right? So what do they play 4 of? Forces. I can't beat Wasteland with this spell. Tarmogoyf they play 2 of. So they clearly don't have a Stealthy Voidwalker. I think it's just going to be a singleton card that I'm playing around. So let's just go, I think, Narset, I guess. Or maybe it's like Cruise or Dig. Cruise or Dig would be fine shouts. Let's just go with Force of Will. I'm just going to go Force of Will, because then I get better information. And if there's something I die to here, Narset, I could have binked that. But none of these cards do anything, which is quite exciting, which means I don't have to do anything, right? I can leave the Therapy there. I'm going to get my 2 Amalgams into play. And then, how many chills have we been through so far? 1 chill there, and 1 chill in the yard. So I've got 2 chills and 36 cards. Yeah, I think I was able to piece Narset together then, but just backed out of it because it's restricted. So, maybe not ideal from me. They've drawn a Lorien for the turn, which is going to go and get them an island of some variety, a tropical. Okay, we'll see that this turn. And then I presume you can you even play a Narset though? Probably not. You probably can't tap out like that. You probably have to keep up an activation of at least 1 Deathrite Shaman, if not 2. And the issue we're having at the moment is we've just been so light on dredges this whole game. We've found 2 in 24. So here we are. Deathrite Shaman eats my Icarid. And then the other Deathrite Shaman I presume is going to eat my Shambling Shell. Maybe. Although they know I've got a Thug, so that doesn't really work right, fighting the dredges like that. Holding up Bayou means that they can fight me on the chill axis. But they might just need the life points because I'm going slightly wider than them very slowly. And then they've passed priority in their first main phase. I wonder if they're attacking. I guess they kind of have to at some point. But maybe not right now. I don't think you can, in good conscience attack here. I think you're far too thin on the ground for that sort of thing. Yeah, they agree. So it's their second main phase now. Let's see if they want to eat something else. They're in a tough box. They can't develop any of their cards that develop their hand or board, so they've kind of just got to cope with what they've got here. And if they let me, I will dredge this shell. And if they don't let me, then I won't dredge this shell, I guess. It's up to them, really, yeah. They get to choose here. So we're in their end step at the moment, and then I get my priority back. Cool, so let's activate the Bazaar of Baghdad and see if they want anything to do with this. So Shambling Shell, Stinkweed Imp, eat all of that. I hit 1 Icarid there. And another bridge. So let's dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Hit nothing again. So they get another, well, they kind of get another turn, right? So 2 bridges, I could make 2 2/2s. So if I attack, they block, then I'm going to kill them with chills. I can take their Narset anyway. Or I could not attack with my zombie tokens. But I am going to. I think if they go block, block, take 6, and that works for me. Eating one of the... Eating the bridges. Oh no, so they're just going to tap mana now. Don't you want to block first? No, they're just going after my Icarid. To go to 10. Then they're going to block for their Tarmogoyf. Cool. They're at 2. So let's just therapy, cracking an amalgam. Then I'll get 2 tokens, right? Which is slightly wider. And then we'll just therapy their collector roof. I think collector roof. Just to try and prevent them from going too wide there themselves. And I'm still able to hit a chill at some point here. I've got one more creature than them in play at the moment. So they'll have to like blocking and life gaining and stuff like that. And then maybe I can... How many chills have I got? Sorry. I know there's one in my graveyard there. And then one in exile. 3 Icarids in exile. The Icarids are never getting in again, so... That's fine. So I found a Leovold, which is annoying. There's one Wasteland and then a bunch of Bazaars in my graveyard, so they've got access to mana. So I think what we'll do... We'll just... How many cards have we got? 23? And 2 chills. So... Let's just dredge a Thug. Yeah, Thug's my biggest dredger. Miss on everything. Let's go to combat. So they've got a block with Death Rights here. They're at 2. What did I hit? I hit Thug. I didn't hit any more imps. And then now when they block, 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 right? So they've got to block with something. They've passed priority. So I'll let that happen. And then at some point they've got to activate these Death Rights. And I'll be able to flip a bunch of cards in response. And try and burn them. Okay. What colour do you add? You've got to add green, right? I'll pass priority back again. And then I'm going to dredge after that and hope to hit one of my 2 remaining chills in 19 cards. So they're exiling my Thug. That Thug's going to disappear anyway, so that was not the best thing to target, I don't think. I didn't hit my chill, but I did hit the... I did get rid of the Thug. And now we'll win to combat damage and we'll make more amalgams. Like they unfortunately just have to hit a grief there, something I can't move. And now that comes through unblocked. So we'll go to sideboarding in the matchup which was going to make me not play this deck today. So yeah, let's think about that. So looking at Wessel's deck, not saying it is exactly Wessel's deck, but we're up against Tabernacles and Leylines. So, and Death Rights. And all these things that I hate. So I did not mean to cut Stinkweed Imp. I do not like cutting the stinkweed imps, for those of you out there wondering what I was doing last week. It was an accident. So, I need 6 cuts from here. I guess just therapies and bridges, but then I'm really low on win conditions. Therapies, bridges, chills, Icarids. But I need to respond to something, don't I? Maybe the negations can go. And I can keep a couple of bridges or a couple of griefs. No, let's just keep the negations, because that will protect our force of vigors. So, yeah. So we kind of just about got game 1. I think it's interesting if they don't target our Dredger there. If they don't target our Dredger, they target our grief. I Dredge, I miss on chill. I think we're then in a game and we're behind. I wasn't expecting to miss chill off of my, Dredge 9 or whatever it was. Dredge 8 with 17 cards and 2 chills. I guess I'm still not actually quite I'm a slight dog, right? But hey. So this will be a mulligan. Nothing here for us that does anything. Well, we can kill a Leyline and a Deathrite Shaman and then die. That would be certainly fun. But we'll go and find our Bazaar of Baghdad. And there it is. Fuck me. We've been doing well at that today. 2 revivals, 2 vigors. One of these narcs will go back down. We'll keep this. Bottom of Narcomoeba. Say done. They've got a Leyline. And that's it. They probe me. Do I want to go now? I think so. Yeah. I'm going to pitch one of my revivals. Okay, cool. So the Leyline's gone. They see Vigor Revival. Let's see what they can do with their turn though. So what just happened there is that I thought I will wait to see if they play like a needle or something. And then they put something on the stack and I was like, hang on a minute, if I let them play a needle they can daze me, was my thought process. So that's why I kind of didn't go in their upkeep. Otherwise I would have. If I'd, had a brief moment of thought before passing, which wasn't great from me. But opponent's got 4 cards in a strip mine. So up it goes. Missing on dredges isn't nice, but let's discard these 3 cards that we drew. Yeah, I guess so. Which is... yeah, because I need the Narcomoeba in case I hit a force of some variety, right? That's why I need to keep the Narcomoeba. And the Amalgam's just actively better in my graveyard. So... they wasteland me. We'll let that happen. Now in their upkeep I'll put it back so I can't get negated or dazed. I can get forced. They're paying some costs. They've got misstep. Good grief. Okay. Good for them. Probably puts them ahead now. They're on 4 cards, no permanents. I'm on 2 cards, no permanents. So, but they've not got anything there. And I draw a shell, so it's back to them. Now it's just going to be like race on in terms of like producing mana and threats, I guess, for them versus me drawing a Bazaar or getting to 7. They've missed a land drop and a Deathrite Shaman drop, which is 2 Deathrite Shaman drops now. That's an Amalgam, so it's back to them. And then Beseiju comes into play. So what does that mean? If they're playing Beseiju, does that mean they've got a trophy? Yeah, Assassin's Trophy in hand. So that's a creeping chill off the top. Assassin's Trophy would make sense, wouldn't it? Another creeping chill. So that's 3 of my 4 chills gone now. Which is annoying because that's like our late game reach card, you know. So Lotus comes in. Followed by another leyline. Oh no. Some action. Oko, Thief of Crowns. So that's going to really turn the game on its head. And make a food. And then pass. And then it's another amalgam. What's been kind of brutal about these draws is that it's not that we haven't drawn Bazaar, right? We're a dog to draw Bazaar this whole game. It's that these cards are not any of our however many interactive cards that we play in our deck. Is the upsetting thing about this. So opponent's on 5 cards. And they're getting to work with their food tokens. We're at 15. And they fetch first. And get themselves a UC into a Sylvan Library. Is that enough to make me Vigor? I don't think so. I'm going to discard my shell so I can start dredging. I've now got a Force of Negation up, which could be useful. And I don't know, I think we're a favourite from this shell dredge to hit our 3 remaining Bazaar of Baghdad's. That's what I think. That's what I think we'll get. So they make a food token with Oko. Cast a Mox Jet, that's fine. And they'll come in for 3. So it's our dredge step, and we'll dredge this Shambling Shell. I didn't hit any of them. How unlucky. Let's discard a prized amalgam this time, because I hit Sickening Shell, or Shambling Shell, and Golgari Grave Troll there. My life total is dropping, and I've only got 1 remaining chill, which is kind of grim. But we did hit a Grave Troll. So for slow dredging, we've got maximum slow dredging. What is this? Leyline of the Void. So let's fight that with a Force of Negation, pitching a Narcomoeba. And that gets through. Now I might actually just Vigor those 2. Dink, dink. I've got a Force of Will for that. Okay, fine. So they're going to get in for 6. Okay, interesting. So, Golgari Grave Troll. Hits my last chill, hits an Icarid. My last chill's not enough, right? So yeah, let's go to the next game. Maybe I did fuck that up with that sequencing. I want my griefs back. Give me my griefs. But what am I cutting for these griefs is the big question. Chills? I think the chills are good. Maybe the chills are actually just bad. They're good at racing the death rights though. One thug can probably go. I think I can cut the negations. And then maybe just one of the chills can go. We'll run something like this. I've just got a bit more disruption on turn 1. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do it, but hey ho. Let's see what Andy comes with in game 3. Hopefully no Bazaars. Hopefully no Leylines, sorry. Okay, so we're on the play. We've got a Bazaar on 7. We don't have anything against a Leyline at the moment, so that's not cool. Let's see how deep Montolia goes. Leyline on 7 cards as well. Brutal. Let's play our Bazaar, because that's what we do. and activate it. We've got 3 fairly simple discards here. There's a Vigor, so that's quite a good start. These 3 can go, and we'll cast a Hollow One and pass the turn. They may force this, but that's fine. They do not. Okay. They play Bazaar, they play Assassin's Trophy, they play Force of Vigor. They play Tarmogoyf, which can just get bigger than Hollow One. So they've got infinite answers to a Hollow One. They've got the Wasteland here for my first Bazaar, so that's good for them. And they're going to pass back. I wouldn't mind a Wasteland off the top here. I've got Shambling Shell, which is a green card. Let's attack for 4. This might be our entire game plan. But you've got to work with what you've got. Yeah, no, so most of the week I was thinking I'd play something like Oath or Mono White Initiative. Leaning Mono White, because I was concerned about facing a lot of bug. So, yeah. So far we've done well to fade it, but here we are. There's a Vigor. So we'll have to find a different game plan then. To that Hollow One. I think I'll leave him with the ley line at the mo. I can kill his creatures. There's an Icarid for us. So and he's got no plays either. So you know, we've got some time to chill out for a while. I draw another Hollow One. So another Bazaar's another threat now. Still no play here. I draw a Wasteland, which I'll deploy, otherwise I've got to discard to hand size. And I'll leave it in play, I'm not too worried about it. Or maybe I should be. Maybe I'll go after their strip mine. Let's do it now. Keep them off of Tarmogoyf or something. Found a polluted delta. And this is one of those things, they're going to be much better at closing the game than we are. So I draw Amalgam, move to discard, I'll just discard one of the Amalgams. Yeah, you could have discarded an Icarid there as well. Yeah, so maybe I should be Vigoring now. Discarding a shell. They'll probably have Force of Will. Yeah. Force of Will pitching Force of Will. Back to them, I've got another shell, so building back towards green. They've got another Wasteland. So this could be a Tarmogoyf here. I don't think I'd be above Sickening Shoal on a Tarmogoyf. So Bayou comes down. Demonic Tutor. Cool. Cool, I guess. So, I wonder what you tutor for in this spot. I've got nothing. They've got everything they could ever want. I get a Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. Into that, into that. Okay, so chill, chill. Amalgam, I guess, just because I'm keeping a bigger thing for my Sickening Shoals. And let's cast a Hollow One. I might just get tabbed. They did just cast a DT. They're at 18. They've got more time than ever, really. So that's a Sapphire, which is going to get through. And they strip mine me. And cast a 3/4 Tarmogoyf. And play a Tabernacle. Cool. Very good. Very good. So this is fine. No. Vigor, please. Nice. So let's go to their upkeep. We'll let them pay for the tab. Okay. Now let's kill it with our Icarid. So force pitching Time Walk. Okay. Now I guess I just vigor these two. I think this does increase the clock somewhat, but it's fine. Better than them drawing into something. And now it's a case of find Bazaar or just another black card. That's an amalgam. Okay, pass the turn. And a wasteland would be a nice draw if they don't play another land. We go to 10. Shambling Shell. Back to the opponent. Then next turn I'm going to have to Sickening Shoal defensively to not die, which is not a great spot, if I'm honest. Maybe the timing on my thing was really poor, on my Vigor. That's a grief. So yeah, no, I guess I just pitch grief, right? Let them pay. And then pitch this, pitch grief to try and stay alive. It's a 1-2 for the turn. They've got Misty. And we draw a hollow one. So good games, and I'll see you for the next round. Okay, so from one crusher to another, we're up against Mogged now. We'll keep this hand. Don't know what they're going to be on, but they've obviously played a lot of this Lurus deck that they created last summer. No Lurus revealed. Okay, so their pet deck has always been Shops, but then they've also been on Sultai again, so another possible bug player. They've been on Sultai recently as well. So let's go with play Bazaar and then Grief pitching Creeping Chill. And see if this gets through. And if it doesn't, then we'll go Grief pitching Cabal Therapy. And hope to hit exactly a Dredger and a hollow one off of our activation. So that gets through. Let's see what we've got. Shops. They've got a Wasteland. They've got an Academy. They've got a Sphere of Resistance. What matters out of this hand? I could just start taking their mana. I could take their Sphere, so I can draw into Force of Will. Their Sphere doesn't really do anything against me though, I just really need to hit a Dredger this turn. So I think maybe I just take a Mana Vault, or maybe it's just supposed to be like an Emerald or a Ruby. I think I'll start off by taking the Mana Vault, and then we'll reassess after this activation. Yeah. Let's activate the Bazaar. Okay. Shit. So I'm just going to get wasted and die. Let's pitch these cards. I can draw black source in the future. I can force their sphere. Maybe. Do I want to force their sphere? I really need to hit a Dredger off that activation, really. Up against shops is kind of brutal. Yeah, maybe I'm not supposed to take the Emerald. Or the Vault, sorry, maybe I'm just supposed to take one of their spells. Like, none of their cards really do anything, right? If I hit a Dredger off that activation, that's the thing. None of their cards do anything if I hit the Dredger. If I don't hit the Dredger... Maybe I'm supposed to activate beforehand so I've got more information when I'm looking at their hand. And I can play as if I miss a Dredger. Because I'm just going to get wasted now, and then we're going to be on force your sphere to play so that I can grief you again. Yeah, no. I'm not sure if I like that line. They've got an Emerald. They've got a Ruby. They've got the sphere, so I'll just negate that now. And then they'll wasteland me. And then if I draw a black card, I can grief them. If I don't draw a black card, I can't grief them. So they'll pass the turn to me. I kind of need to draw like black card into Bazaar. Is what I need to do. So we know they're holding Academy, Crucible, one more. The Crucible will probably be in play next turn with the Academy. Yeah, I'm not greatly pleased with this turn of events. Actually, I think the Mana Vault is a massive punt. Oh, I draw a Bazaar though. Good lord. Do I play it? Or do I wait? If I wait, they're just going to have the Crucible in play. Let's just play the Bazaar. If they flip cards, they flip cards. If they are able to get Wasteland into play again, then good on them. If they're not, then I'm going to get 2 activations out of it. So they've got an Academy, which means they don't have a Wasteland this turn. 4 mana. And what does 4 mana make when you're a Prison Shops player? It could be that 40k card that Jordan had earlier. So I'm going to get 2 activations off this Bazaar of Baghdad. So we really need to hit a Dredger on this first one, really, to get particularly far into our deck. If it's off the second one, then it's fine, but it's going to be tougher. So they've got 4 mana floating and having a good think. So that's a Lodestone Golem. I think that's fine. Well, it means I'm not going to cast a Therapy again this game. But that's fine. Let's go. There's nothing I can hit here, so there's no problems with doing it end step. And we did hit the Dredger, and we hit an Amalgam as well. So upkeep, let's flick this Stinkweed Imp and Prey. Stinkweed Imp into Grave Troll, into Narcomoeba. I'd love my Narcomoeba, thank you. That triggers the Amalgams, I get my Grave Troll back. That hits another Narc. That hits my Amalgams. I obviously cannot Therapy them because of the Lodestone. It means the Wasteland's going to be good because it's going to get me off my Bazaar, but I've got pretty much everything going now at this point. They need a Golos or something right now. They've got 5 mana if they want it. They've got the Crucible for the Wasteland if they want it. And they've got 2 mystery cards that we do not know about. So if they play main deck Bog for their Golos, that could be sick. But otherwise we've at least got something going. So over to them to work out how to progress from here. Probably not going to include attacking, because attacking just turns my Narcomoeba into 2/2, which is a tough way to go about it. But yeah. So costs are being paid. 3 mana looks like it lines up nicely with a Crucible of Worlds. Or not. Or not. Maybe there's more thinking to be done. So post board, we're going to have Vigors and Wastes. And Forces. Probably not Griefs. Okay, so 5 mana. Makes a Golos, which they did draw. Do they have main deck Bog? Or main deck Tab? Which one do you go for here? Tab obviously clears my board. But then it's hard for them to get through again. So they're just going to leave me with this Bazaar. Or they've drawn another Wasteland. I think Bog looks powerful, but the issue with Bog is that can I win around a Bog sort of thing? No, so they just get the Tab. So we're on Icarids only now. Icarids and Chills. Let's stack all the triggers. Stack them correctly. Okay, so I won't pay for that. I'll yield to this one. I guess I want to Dredge in response. So I've got Stinkweed Imp and Stinkweed Imp. So I've got 21 cards in my deck. I'll bring a Narcomoeba into play. It doesn't do anything harmful to us. I'll bring in a Grief. I won't pay for my Narcs. And then we'll Dredge a Grave Troll, I guess. So at some point I should be able to hit a Creeping Chill, right? That would make sense. And do I offer up my bridge? I think so. I've got 3 Icarids now. And if I get offered the bridge, then I can take the Crucible. If they eat my bridge, I can take the Crucible out of their hand. And then maybe I can hit. Yeah, no, I don't really need a Bazaar anymore, do I? Like, it helps, but I don't know if I'm scared of Bazaar or second Golos, really. So I'm just going to put the Golos in the way. My bridge will trigger, and then it'll be over to them. There's a bunch of triggers on the stack. Some amalgams will come back in. I'm just going to show you the amalgams. Look at them all. They'll be dead soon. But this holding pattern makes it harder for them to get through. Obviously they can just like build into the game, eat my Bazaar and stuff, but they've only got 2 cards. And the fact that they're paying for Golos means they don't have another Golos. And next turn I get 3 Icarids into play. And I get in for 6, or 3 damage even. And then we keep doing that forever and ever. Depending on what this is. So that's the Crucible of Worlds. That will be by the Wasteland. Wasteland taps for a patchwork automaton. Okay. So I want the Ichorids to happen last. Good grief. Does everything else stack automatically? Yes. Okay. So yield to these, yield to these, yield to these. No, I'm going to get a bunch of tokens. Then my nerds are going to come back. Then I'll get to attack for 9. They might eat my bridge, but then I can go and look for my last 2 bridges and my 3 chills. So no, 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 no. So let's eat a grief. And let's eat a grief. And then we'll eat a shell, I guess. I think do I just take a draw step here? Because like if I just take a draw step, right? I mean, they can eat my bridges next turn anyway if they want to. They can eat my bridges whenever they want to, right? So I should just dredge. So let's dredge Thug. And Thug. Just one chill. One chill, huh? Yes, I'd like to chill them. So if I dredge a Thug, that leaves me 3 cards. Let's do a Thug. And one more chill. So that's all my chills. Is that it, really? There's just one at the bottom. Oh, there's one in exile already. So let's attack. And then I've not got many turns to get through. So I might have left myself a little bit short, I don't know. So Golos blocks, Patchwork blocks, that'll eat my bridges. Lodestone doesn't block. Fuck. I didn't realise. So I miss a token because I fucked up on my click there. So, yeah. It doesn't look like we're going to win this game. Have I got 4 Ichorids yet? 1, 2, 3, and then 1 in play. So that's 4. So it's just whether they can continue to present threats, right, over these next few turns is the big joke. My Amalgam's going to flick in and out of play. Oh no, my bridges are gone. Yeah, maybe I dredged a little hard there, but I was trying to get my chills, you know. So that would put them to one more chill would put them to 8, and I'd get through for 6. That won't be enough, so I can't dredge again. I've just got to hope that they miss on creatures. That's not really missing on creatures, is it, that one? Annoying. Annoying. And then a Nettle Cyst. Yeah, no, so the Nettle Cyst kills us because I can only get him for 3 this turn. That's a 7/7. And then they'll have infinite tokens. So let's go to the next one, because just 4 Ichorids attacking a turn isn't going to do this job. And it means I don't have to click through all of this nonsense. So Revivals and Wastes are going to come in. We'll drop the therapies because they seem really bad under the spheres. We'll drop a thug. I think I'll just drop bridges. And then one of my chills or one of my negations. No, my misstep is good. I'm going to drop a grief. Let's just play that. Not a nice one. Maybe I may have dredged a bit hard there, but I don't think that's going to do... I don't think it's going to do the trick anyway, with that being their follow-up. So, I don't know how much of a difference that made, but... Okay, so game 2 against Mogged. And we don't have a Bazaar there, so let's go. And we do have a Bazaar there, so that's nice. I'll probably just bottom the chill, I think. Yeah. Because then I know exactly where it is. And I can get to it. I can play my hollow one. I can needle their graveyard hate. And I can pitch my amalgam. And I don't really have many cards left to work with, do I? Huh. Maybe I can't ever put the grief back, really. And I've got to keep the hollow one. Oh, it's suddenly already very difficult. I'll keep this. I'm still going to bottom the chill. Let's play Bazaar and activate it. Because maybe I'll get a better idea of what's going on. So maybe I can just pitch my 3 black cards. Or I could, yeah, pitch my 3 black cards, hold my strip mine, cast a hollow one. I've got a dredger. I can needle their first threat, or their first piece of graveyard interaction. Last time they were on Prison Shops, they had Needle, Cage, Soul Guide, and something else. The Soul Ring. The Soul Ring's something I want to fight over. That's a really difficult question. So yeah, they have Ghost Quarter Tab, Cage, Soul Guide, Needle. I'm going to say okay to the Soul Ring. And then if they've got a, oh, they've just got everything. Good God. Is this just a worm coil? Oh, good on them. Okay. So let's dredge the thug to get started. It's a Stinkweed Imp. And I do hit a shell there, so I get a Narcomoeba. Yes, please. I trigger an amalgam. I'll dredge a shell. I get a Narcomoeba. I trigger 2 amalgams. I can play my strip mine. I can pass the turn. They've got 3 cards in hand. I get a bunch of amalgams into play. Oh, please leave me alone. And my strip mine is going to sit here and do good tabernacle protection. They'll flip a mana crypt. And we'll pass. So they kind of know that I'm holding Vigor. That's a Trinosphere, good God. Okay, so let's go after Soul Ring, Wormcoil Engine. Okay. They get their 2 tokens. They've got 5 mana left for their turn, plus a land drop. They play a Crucible of Worlds. And an Urza's Saga. Okay. Good on you. I'm going to get in for some good damage. I don't have an Icarid at the moment. I will dredge though. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. Narcomoeba and Chill get hit. I found 2 Icarids there. Let's go to the Dredge step, dredge ourselves a Stinkweed Imp, hit another Narcomoeba, and then let's just slay. Now the big question is, can I let them get to chapter 2? I think so. Is that going to take 5? I think I have to let them get to chapter 2. Because I can't go around getting tabernacled in this spot. They're rethinking it. Yeah, Death Touch. Just Death Touch. Okay. And I think I'll pass and let them chill for a moment. And then I might need to go after the Saga next turn, but they might already be dead next turn. Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle name Strip Mine. Pithing Needle name Strip Mine play. Sure, I'll pay for my fucking amalgam, I guess. And then their last card out of their hand will be Tabernacle. Like, I've got Dredgers, right? I've got 3 Icarids. Maybe I'm supposed to strip the Saga there and reset it. But I think pay for amalgam, bring back 3 Icarids, attack for 9, or attack for 12. You die. I think that seems fine. Like, yeah, Needle doesn't do the job here. Oh no, but Saga does. Oh, no name Bazaar of Baghdad. They make a token. Okay. And that will force me to do it. Okay, so they continue to not have Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. So what am I playing around here? They can't have Ravenous Trap, they just die, right? Lifelink eliminates the 2 amalgams. You block an Icarid and you take 1 billion. So I don't need to do anything else. And then just eat a Thug here. Draw step, I will pick up my Troll anyway, just in case I hit some chills. Yeah, nice. Yep. And then we'll go to combat and we'll attack with everything, and our opponent should be defeated. So, yeah, those 2 get blocked, and then you take far more than 6. Good. Next game. On the draw, Grief is probably worse. Maybe Sickening Shoal is good. What creatures did they just have in play? Why can't I remember? Wormcoil Engine. I can't defeat a Wormcoil Engine in that manner. Let's just bring in a Thug and 2 Bridges and drop the Griefs. And then press submit. Yeah, this is I guess I was thinking that Hogak's really quite a funny card because it can kill a Serra's Emissary out of Oath with a Sickening Shoal, but I decided that that's a little too narrow. So we'll keep this hand, which is obviously good because we have a Bazaar. A bit annoying because we've got 2 chills, but hey ho. Opponent is up first. They've got a Saga to lead on. Into a Soul Ring and a Mana Crypt. They've done well with that sort of shit, haven't they? 5 mana makes a Golos. Golos makes another Saga. Just completely aggro Saga me. Golos could make a Wasteland. Yeah, interesting. I guess just Wasteland is better. You've already got the nuts in play, right? 2 cards left in hand after this opener. I think it's going to be Saga or Waste. And then we just kind of have to hit a green card here to have any hope in this game. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's activate Bazaar, get a green card, and pray. They get Tabernacle at Pendle Vale. Okay. We hit a green card. They've got 2. So we've got a Wasteland as well for that tab. So let's get rid of Imp, Thug. Let's go after the... Let's do the bridge first. Mog's got active abilities on their upkeep. Okay. And then we're going to Vigor Saga Soul Ring. I think. Yeah. Saga Soul Ring. I probably should have thought about that when I was on my discards. So we'll Vigor them. And get wasted. Yeah. Oh, 3 mana. Crucible. Shit the bed. That's not good for me. That's not good for me at all. But actually I can just dump. So Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. Chill Narcomoeba. Yes, I'd like my Narcomoeba. Yes, I'd like to chill you. Yes, I'd like to dredge Stinkweed Imp. And then... now I'll play a Wasteland. That doesn't really do anything, does it? So they've got a Ghost Quarter in play. And they've got Infinite Tabernacles. So if I do present creatures... So maybe I wasn't supposed to Wasteland this turn. Maybe I was supposed to get wasted and hold the Wasteland. And the Saga's a big threat as well. Because that can get a cage or something. So play the Saga for the turn. Okay. And then they Ghost Quarter something. Did they win their crit flip? They won the flip. Very powerful. Very powerful stuff. So they Ghost Quarter the Bazaar. That's my deck. Golish doesn't come in. Narcomoeba doesn't get paid for. I get a bridge token. Draw step will dredge a Stinkweed Imp. We'll hit another chill. Still no Icarids. Am I supposed to go after the Saga here right now? They lost the flip. Do they pay for Golos? Yes. I think I'll Wasteland the Saga. And reset it. And try and find time for me to find some Icarids. Because I think that's all my chills now. So they replay the Saga out of the bin. 1, 2, 3, and there's one in my yard, yeah. So I'm on dredging Thugs now. And I hear 0 Icarids, which I think is going to be the death knell for us. I think I needed them before that. Really. Realistically, in any world. I think they just lost another mana crypt flip though. But they are going to turn the corner quite quickly. They let Golos go to get rid of my bridge. Saga ticks up to 2. I wonder what they drew last turn that they want to cast. A Wormcoil would be a good thing to cast. Or if they play Shadow Spear or something. Is that what it's called? The equipment that gives lifelink to all your Saga tokens? So they've got a land drop to give, which can be the Ghost Quarter out the yard, which could get them back onto another Golos, which could get a Bog if they play Bog. None of these problems deal with Mana Crypt at the moment. I think that's roughly where we're at in this game, is looking for Mana Crypt to do the work. So they play Ghost Quarter. They've got no other effects this turn. So maybe I just take a draw step. I've got no chills. My Icarid will just get bogged. Not bogged. What's the card they've got? Soulguide Lantern. Soulguide Lantern and Cage. So yeah, let's pick up a shell. How many vigors have gone? 1, 2, 3 vigors have gone. Let's try to shell. 1, 2, 3 vigors have gone. And we'll pass the turn. And it's Mogged and Mana Crypt, and I think is the matchup here. They're going to get in for quite a lot of damage quite quickly though. I think them winning a flip wins them the game, to be honest. They won that one. They've got to pay for this construct if they want it. They might not pay for it just to get rid of my bridge, but I don't know what I'm gunning for there. So bridge gets exiled. Saga token ticks up. They make a mana. That sounds a lot like a Wormcoil engine to me. They find themselves a cage, I presume. Soulguide Lantern, sure. Soulguide Lantern's going to eat something random out my yard. Just the Grave Troll. And they play another Saga. And they found themselves a Wormcoil. Savagery. So we've got to find Bazaar of Baghdad and or Soulguide Lantern this turn. So we'll cancel that. Oh, not Soulguide Lantern, Force of Vigor is what I meant. But we did not, and therefore we're going to succumb to Mogged, going to X and 2, which is going to eliminate us from top 8 contention in this one. Yeah, we kind of needed a Vigor right then, right there. I considered trying for it last turn, but decided picking up the green card in advance of a Lantern was a good idea. So they get in for 6, we go to 17. They found an Inventor's Fair as well into a sphere, right? So that completely just ices us. And we'll be dead next turn anyway, so. Good games. Unfortunate that we didn't find Icarids earlier, I think. Because if the Icarids had gotten a little bit more, well, it was only like one Icarid hit that we needed, right? So, yeah. Never mind. See you for the next round. Okay, so round, I don't know, 7? We're up against Solid Snake. He's been on a lot of Lurrus Saga recently. They still are now. We're on Bazaar on 7, so we'll keep this. We've got a nice little Noxious Revival there, and a Misstep as well. So, doesn't look like it's just going to be a get wasted and die sort of game. Hopefully we'll find a Dredger off this activation. So let's give it a flick. And we do not. We do find cards that we want to flip over though, so that's just delightful. We'll discard the cards that don't matter and pass the turn. Yeah, we needed a Dredger. By cards that don't matter, I meant the cards that we want in our graveyard. So, emerald. It's going to be a blue-black version. Is this a good misstep target out of them? I guess so. Give it a go. Can't hurt. Wasteland. Cool. Okay, they waste me. I've got 5 cards in hand. Let's pick up our Bazaar. Does that get through? It does. Perfect. Ikarid's going to trigger, but we're not going to do anything about that. We'll play our Bazaar and we'll activate it. Dredger, please. No Dredger. Brutal. Let's see if they've got another Wasteland. Probes me. Strip mine. Deceased. Third Bazaar? Nope. Dredger. Perfect. Just on time. So it's over to them to sort of just like slowly kill us at their leisure now. If they miss a land drop, that'd be cool, but nope. Oh wow. The worst of everything. They buy Lurus. Okay. And play a Lotus, and play a Lurus, and play a Lotus. Great. What a hand. What a hand. Nope. I don't really know. I think this is just a classic case of I missed dredges, right? Not much else there for us. Let's just get him off this joke. Oh no, I can't really do that. I need to get to discards. Okay. I think I've just got to let them do what they want. So they've got 5 mana. Cast a Lorien revealed. You got it. Plays a Scalding Tarn. Yeah, I think a number of draw steps and 2 Bazaar activations and we missed on all the dredges is a thing that can happen. That's a hollow one. And now we'll get to see their graveyard hate. Or their main deck piece of hate at least. Or they might just get like a random card that doesn't matter. They ancestral themselves. Saga goes off. They get Manifold Key. I mean, I've got to counter that one. They win. Cool. Next game. Let's go and look at their Saga list quickly. And see what they've been doing the hate with recently. So I can't pause my video. So they've got Tab, Needle, Priest, Cage. They've got 8 cards. I think I won't be able to afford... I don't think I can afford, 11 cards coming in? So what would I have to cut? I'd have to cut Therapies. I'd have to cut 1 Thug. 3 Bridges. That leaves me with 4 cards. So that would be cutting the Griefs or the Negations. Or maybe like a trim off the top on here, right? So like a Wasteland, a Grief. How good's Chalice? Chalice is great on the play though, right? That's the problem. Negation. I need the. Let's do 2 negations and bring the Wasteland back in over the Chalice. What does that look like? It doesn't look beautiful. It does look like a game plan. So I've got to beat Priest. I've got to beat Sagas and Tabernacle, and I've got to beat a Cage. Cool. Let's go with that. We've lost with a lot of Bazaar on 7s today, haven't we? We'll mulligan this. Cool. That's a Bazaar of Baghdad. Powder to the bottom. Yeah, the double strip mine hand with no dredges is tough. I feel better about that game if we have the dredges, but I think they'd still win with the speed that they had, like Saga into Vault Key sort of thing. But Hey, let's keep this. Powder goes down. And what did we say they had? They had four. Last time out, they had 4 priests, 1 lantern, 1 needle, 1 cage, 1 tab, and nothing really main board. Well, time twister main board. So let's give it an activate. And we've got a force of will on now. So let's cast our hollow one, and that gets through. Cool. This is our graveyard in our game that looks like it could go well. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it could go well. You know, that's what I'm saying. I don't think this looks like a turn for Icarid to come back. I think we'd like to build into the game on the assumption that we don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad. If we don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad though, I still don't know, because I want Wasteland Force misstep, right? I want all of those. To Lotus again. Okay. Lotus, Emerald. Cycle Lorien. Find themselves a Tundra, which they play. And they have a needle. I don't know how to deal with this. So they have a needle. And what if I just slow dredge from now on, but hold my forcible misstep for Containment Priest? I think that sounds like a line I might be interested in taking, actually. I've got Dredge 10 in my graveyard at the moment. So Icarid's going to go off and Icarid's going to stay at home this turn. And then we'll Dredge. We'll hit a Narcomoeba, which doesn't elicit a response. So we'll attack for 4. And play a Wasteland. And pass the turn. And I've got Stinkweed Imp, 2 Stinkweed Imps, so I can eat a shell next turn. And get my Icarid in. Ancestral Recall. Ugh, this game is so hard. So do I just have to fight the Ancestral? I guess so. I guess so. So otherwise they're just going to bury me, aren't they? White, blue, blue, blue. Flusterstorm. My misstep. Okay. Okay. Cool. I don't know. I don't know how I've played this. I could have fought over the needle. They would have had the Flusterstorm up then. If they'd had the priest, they wouldn't have had the Flusterstorm up. So maybe it was still good to play for the priest line. I don't know. That's a ruby. So they can buy Lurus this turn if they want to. So opponent's tapped a bunch of mana and they're playing Time Twister. It's kind of not on really, is it? Well, that might still help. So I've got quite a reactive hand here. And if they don't do anything, I can just discard a Stinkweed Imp. But they are fetching. For an Underground Sea. To cast a Manifold Key. Yeah, okay. So then they've got 5 cards in hand. I draw an Amalgam. And we'll attack for 5 and discard Stinkweed Imp. So Stinkweed Imp goes to the graveyard. Maybe I could have needled that key just to ensure life or something. Because now it's just Time Vault plus Force of Will that kills me. Let's Dredge, because I think I've still got chills in my deck. I've got one there. Send them down to less life points. We've got an Orcish Bowmaster for us. Okay. Narcomoeba down. A Containment Priest. Okay. Blocks with the squad. Let's kill your Containment Priest with this here Icarid. They force back. I force back. Containment Priest dies. The other things die. Hollow One persists, but I don't have any dredges. So, cold to Time Vault here. They could buy Lurus if they want to. It's still in the companion zone. No plays, so just another Bowman. Shambling Shell. I just no plays. Containment Priest, okay. Containment Priest is fine. They play a Saga. And do you have a Lurus purchase here or not? Doesn't look like it. I get a draw at Sickening Shoal here, although I've been through two already. Grief. Let's attack for 4. They've got another Bowman, they've got another Bowman. They've got another Priest. Okay. Blocks and blocks. Am I interested in griefing them here? Or do I just want to wasteland their Saga? I guess I just want to wasteland their Saga. So that if they buy Lurus, then I can grief it next turn. I think a lot comes down to the misstep earlier when we didn't misstep their Needle. But I felt like I had good rationale for it. This is my graveyard, by the way. No dredges, no nothings. Cycles a Lorien. 1 card in hand for the opponent. Gets an Underground Sea. And they go and buy Lurus. Comes back to me. I get a Noxious Revival. Let's exile the Stinkweed Imp here. What else are you holding? Spell Pierce and Lurus. Okay, well, we'll just take Lurus then. And then pass the turn. Still no dredges for us. If we can draw a Vigor, that would be nice. One card in hand. On the opponent's side of things. Or 2 cards in hand, one of them's a Spell Pierce, sorry. Golgari Thug. And now we're just drawing up until we can try and discard something to hand size, if we get to live that long. Like Vamp kills us. Demonic Shooter kills us. Shambling Show again. So 2 more turns until we get to Dredge. This one, the next one, and then the following turn we'll Dredge. Lotus Petal gets cast, sure. So back over to us, and we just need to get Dredger gone so that we can start chilling our opponent into the ground, I think is the joke. Stinkweed Imp's the best one of the lot. So clean up step. They've got a Bowman, fine. So Bowman and Spell Pierce are cards in hand for the opponent. And we discard a Stinkweed Imp. We're drawing towards 3 chills and 37 cards, I think. That's a Saga, wow. Blow for blow. I get 7, they find a Saga. The race is on. They hit us for 2. Let's just hit it on the first one, shall we, Modo? Just dink, Creeping Chill. Yes. Very nice. Cool. Weird game. I took some questionable lines there. Yeah, that's all I've got really for my analysis of that game. Questionable plays, questionable lines, questionable whether I deserved the outcome. But I felt like at the time I made the decisions I had decent enough rationale. Maybe I didn't weigh it up enough against the other side of the argument, like what if your opponent goes Needle Time Twister or something like that? Who knows? I could have very much seen I should have misstepped that key, because then that game's not quite as tense, right? Then there's a lot fewer outs for them. It's like exactly, I don't know what actually, but we got through. Let's try and be a bit tighter going forwards. And I think in order to be tighter, I'm interested in dropping these 3 griefs, bringing in these 2 negations again on the draw, and this final thug. I think that sounds like something I'm interested in. So yeah, they've got a Lurus. I haven't got a Bazaar. It's a shame that you can't companion the Bazaar, right? Obviously you wouldn't have to pay for Bazaar because, you know, we're the good guys. Let's mulligan this hand. Oh, down to 5. Down to 4. Officially the lowest I've been today, I think. But we'll keep this. And we'll dink these guys. Oh, what do I put on the bottom here? I kind of need to keep my treasure. Is it the Sickening Shoal? I'm not a fan of that. Maybe it shouldn't be Sickening Shoal. No, because I need to fight over a needle, right? I need to be able to fight a needle. Yeah, Needle and Cage I have to fight. Containment Priest I have to fight, but Sickening Shoal would work. Not an ideal start, seeing as our opponent's kept 7 cards. Okay. Opponent's on the play. We've got a Force of Will and a Dream. Let's see what their opener is. See how dead we are. This is one of the difficult things with Dredge. You know, post-board games when you mulligan low, you are a massive dog because these are the games where you really need your resources. Game 1, you can mulligan to, you know, 1s and 2s and get there. But Lotus Petal, okay. There's a Saga. Okay. Pithing Needle. So this I have to fight, right? There's no way around that. They're paying costs. They've got the Spell Pierce. Okay, so we're just going to get hammered and die. Needle comes in. They name Bazaar. Wasteland's the best draw in our deck, I guess. Well, Vigor's the best draw in our deck, actually. Oh, baby, talk to me. Alright, if this gets through, we have ourselves a game. Dink, dink. Pay me. That was an exceptionally fucked up top deck if this gets through. They float a mana. They cycle a Lorien. Dead. Okay. Game continues. The amount of luck that went into making that play possible. Good grief. Right, flip a Bazaar. Give me a Dredger. Thank you. Right, into Thug. Oh, we are truly living by the skin of our pants today. What can my Ichrid eat? It can eat a shell or a Thug. Yeah, I'm here to attack, actually. I want this game to end. Okay, missed on Dredgers. Greedy. Too greedy. Not ideal. Paying costs. Cycles a Lorien. Probably gets a Tundra. Okay, so that's going to get a Priest into play if they want it. I'll say no to this. Okay, that's fine. No, okay, and we'll take a draw step, because now we can draw towards a Sickening Shoal, right? Stinkweed Amalgam. So we'll keep an Amalgam in hand. And we'll peck for 1. Not clear to me how we want to play this. I've got 1 Sickening Shoal in my deck, because one of them's on the bottom. Priest comes in. How do we want to do this? Like, dredging doesn't seem great until I've pinged them down a bit more. Grave Troll would be a pain in the arse though. Force of Will's nice. Okay, so I can get up another card next turn and then do some flipping of some chills. How many chills have I got? 4. Let's force this. And then I guess we can just pass. And then take some deck flipping action in a moment. They've got a Mox Pearl. So that's going to buy them a Lurrus, I guess. That's annoying. Containment Priest comes in. So let's think this through a second. In their second main phase. So I've got 38 cards. And I've got a Stinkweed Imp at the moment. How do I ever win? My bottom card is a Sickening Shoal, which is a really annoying place for a Sickening Shoal to be. Because I can never get to it and combat. So this turn I'll attack them to 14, then they'll play a Lurrus. Then I'll attack them to 13. And if they fetched, they'll die to all my chills. I've got no idea. Let's activate Bazaar and try and just get their life total down. Didn't hit anything there. My Ichrids don't work. No. So I can't... I'm just going to draw my card and it's going to be a shell and I'm going to cry. A chill, I mean. It's a Grave Troll. Let's get in for 1. I think next turn I'm supposed to just actually be like... Activate Bazaar. And then I have to like sorcery speed kill the chill or something. So they play Lurrus. So yeah, I'm just 1 point of damage short, that's the problem. They play a Petal. They don't fetch a land. That's really frustrating. So they get in for 2. So I can attack them to 13, right? Cancel that draw step. A hollow one. So what happens if I just meme here and don't do anything? So I just draw a card. I'm up against infinite Bowmaster tokens here, so I think I just have to be... How do I convert this? I need to flip chills I need to... They can't attack me next turn. So maybe that's the joke. Maybe it's just flip, chill, flip, chill. Pray they play a needle and not a bowmaster. So I've got 17 cards in deck. My bottom one's a... My bottom one being Sickening Shoal can work if I'm not killing a priest, right? These can't come into play, that's why they're not coming into play. Let's attack them to 7. Let's cast Hollow One, and then maybe if this resolves, it does. Okay, so they can't attack me without removal. And if they don't attack me, can I make exactly 17? Imp, Grave Troll, yeah, that would win, because my bottom cards are Sickening Shoal. That's if they don't bowman me. But if they don't bowman me, then they're needling me. So they needle me. They play a Tabernacle. Fuck. Tabernacle, needle. Oh, fuck. No, that's going to kill us. Did I find my other Sickening Shoal, by the way? One there. No. So let's just go to Draw Steps and Prayers. That's a Serum Powder. Motherfucker. That was a close game. So if they don't have that Tabernacle... Then I get in for 1, and I get to Dredge to Chills. But now they're at 10. And I'm dying too quickly. Cool. I think there's still outs, but they're very slim. Yeah, no. Alright, 4 and 3. I'll see you for the final round. Okay, nerds. So 8th and final round. Thank you for sticking with me if you have done. I've been thinking about that Icarus reanimation last round, where I exiled like a dredger with no Bazaar, assuming I'd have one, and that's really haunting me. We're going to keep this hand. So we're up against Kazuga, who's got some listings with Mono White Initiative, but not a regular Vintage player. Ancient Tomb could be Mono White, and that's it. That's all they've got for now. So let's get our activation going. Let's hope for another blue card. That'd be sick. No such luck. Just 3 dredgers to keep us going for now. Let's see what they've got on turn 2 then. They didn't reveal a Chancellor. They could just be shops, no. So they've got it all. Very nice. So 2 chills is... I feel like we've drawn a lot of chills. And they're just playing a White Plume. Okay. So it's going to be some sort of balls to the wall style game. We're going to have to hope that this Thug delivers a Troll or an Imp to keep up, I think. They named Orc, which is interesting, because I think they're meant to name Cleric, but, you know, they are currently in the 8th round of an event with Mono White, which means they've got more lifetime rounds of Mono White than I have. So, who knows? I don't know what other Orcs they could be playing, but there's the basic planes. So they haven't splashed red for an artillery. In response to that trigger, I'll activate my Thug. Or activate my land. Yeah, I don't feel like I've played perfectly the last few rounds. I feel like I've taken somewhere between some spewy or some just possibly reasonable lines, but hey ho. So we did find the Imp, which is nice. I'd like to find the Narc now because I've got 2 bridges and 2 therapies. So let's dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Narc Amoeba one time? No times. So initiative goes back to them. I did find an Icarid somewhere. Yeah, there he is. So Icarid will eat a Grief. That'll bring back 2 amalgams. Then we'll get to attack, make some bridge tokens, maybe hit him with a therapy or something. A couple of therapies. I probably just won't attack and I'll hit them with 2 therapies. I think is going to be the game plan. Let's hope this isn't another Orc. It's not, so we get a target for our force of will. So priority comes back to us, we'll pitch and narc and we'll counter that, and that's going to nicely eat their turn. They've got 4 cards in hand. I think I'm pretty interested in this idea of just therapying them into the ground. I'm not going to get the initiative this turn, which means I'm going to take 5. So let's dredge a thug. Dredge a thug, that hits a chill, so that's going to keep us going for a little bit longer. Imp, thug will go to the bin. I've got 28 cards. And am I just not allowed Narcomoebas today? Is that what's going on? Opponent's going to untap their White Plume. I'm going to eat the grief that I milled earlier. See if I can make this a bit bigger for you. Oh, I can't, sorry. So we'll eat the grief. That's going to trigger 2 amalgams. So our board state's about to get tasty. And we'll dredge the stink. We found a second imp, and I've got 3 bridges now. So the board's about to get cluttered, and the opponent's going to start to struggle to get through as well. Nice thing is that they can't block and trade. So it's looking like a good start for us. A seasoned dungeoneer would be a bit annoying, and I think that's likely to be the name on my therapy here. Oh, I missed narcs again. So maybe I just therapy you straight away and not attack, because then I can't get solituded in combat or something. And let's name Seasoned Dungeoneer and see what they've got. I've got 1 more therapy to spend here with my 3 tokens. Loran, Solitude, Trinosphere. Loran doesn't really do anything. Trinosphere is kind of annoying, but I can just take this. I can just take this Solitude now. So I'll name Solitude. Well, if I could spell it. So I'll take Solitude. Now you've got Loran, Trinosphere. I get some amalgams into play. And I think we're good there. I've only got 1 Icarid. I've only got 0 Narcomoebas. I'm going to get a 3rd amalgam on their end step. Where are they now? They're going to trap me, so I'll go to 12. Then I'll chump block, and then after that nobody's going to care, I don't think, unless they draw something really good. So we know that they're on Trinosphere, Loran, Ancient Tomb right now. We know that I'm going to 5 unless they want to go to Amalgam, but the Amalgam's getting in anyway, right? So, yeah. I actually used the goad ability the other day. Not for any reason, just I decided I didn't need to stash, so I'd go to something and then that would give me another dredge. It was quite cool. So they're up to 4 cards. They draw they had an Ancient Tomb beforehand. So 2 cards and a mystery. In they come for the combat step, and I'll just chump block. There's no point in us just taking 5, right? Seems like a bit much. And they've drawn nothing. They've got Trinosphere. Trinosphere into Loran? Yeah, fine. I think we can overcome that. I get another Amalgam. I get 1 Icarid trigger. Give me some Narcomoebas, man. So we'll dredge the last few cards of our deck. There they are. I found them. Opponent's just dead on board. You're at 6. Your dude untaps. And then I attack you with everything and you die. So we raced the initiative. A fairly slow initiative draw though. Well, actually, no, it's just the interaction, right? The force of will just really changed that game, I think. So hopefully we can round it out and we'll finish 5-3. But we've got 2 more games to play against the initiative, and that means we've got to play against priests and possibly ley lines. Yeah, let's just hit a troll. Why not? And I found all my Narcomoebas in the end. So into combat. Ding, 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 ding. Cool. You lose. I win. Next round. Cool. -8. I like it. Begin sideboarding. So we need the Vigors because we don't know what they play. This is what we want. Chalice can go. I think Grief can go so that we can just ignore that. The negations I'm never impressed with. 1 Thug, 1 Therapy, 1 Bridge. So that leaves me with 2 cuts to go. I don't need this Leyline of the Void, that's for fucking sure. 1 cut then. Oh, the Misstep. Rip City Misstep. Cool. So yeah, so initially just like max boarding, and then we can trim next time around and play around next time. So force back up into no Dredger, but 2 Bazaars. So let's hope that it's good. Opponent has mulligan to 6 for now. Then to 5. So to 5 is, I don't know, mono white is so hard to gauge, right? It's usually when like your random opponent's just going down to 5, you're like, okay, they're digging for ley lines. But there was discussion about the ley line, about the mono white sideboard for Bazaar the other day, and I was like, the thing with mono white is it's really annoying because some of them play ley lines, some of them play peacekeepers, some of them play containment priests, some of them play tabernacles. They don't all have all of those. They all have priests, and that's the only thing you can guarantee. So it makes it quite tough to sideboard against them. Like you have to do this sort of massive switch up post board to try and have any like outs against all the different things, and then you can change that later once you've possibly seen some hate. So yeah. So they keep 5. They're in their first main phase, so they don't have a ley line. Lotus isn't going to get there, sorry. Absolutely not. I appreciate the effort. Mox Pearl. Nice. And no other stuffs. Man. A Vigor. I think you've got to believe it. I think you've got to believe it. Vigor as well. So let's do this. Upkeep, we're just sending that Mox Pearl to the graveyard. They missed a land drop. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Put that Pearl away. Wasteland's fine. You wasteland me. I pick it back up. I play a Bazaar. And I'll pass. There's a joke here where we can slow roll that Bazaar, right? Right, they've missed a land drop, so we're just going to flip cards. I don't want to talk about Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, I've never heard of it. Give me a Dredger, thank you. Dredge. Narc. 2 bridges. Yep. I've got Therapy as well, so let's Therapy you and name Containment Priest. And then I don't have a Dredger, and they're over it. So we're going to finish up 5-3 today. Yep, and then this was our deck, as I'm sure you're aware of by now, after 8 rounds of Magic. But I quite liked it. The reason I went back onto the chills was after looking at Jacob's list last week in the challenge. It seemed good for reach against the priests. I think we had some spots against... We had that spot against Solid Snake, right, where maybe I took slightly too aggressive of a line early. But if my Narc had been able to deal 1 more point of damage, then I would have been able to flip my deck and chill them out. Sideboard makeup is pretty stock at the moment, but I always feel like I want a 4th removal spell just because there's so many priests around. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.